couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower. 68 Tuesday, partly sunny. A spot shower or thunder shower. A lot of dry time on Tuesday. 92. If we hit 90 plus, that will be the first time we've done it so far this year. It's been a long stretch of no 90 plus. Then Tuesday night, showers and thunderstorms around mainly late night, 74. And Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday offering the best chance of at least some strong to severe weather. Again, that would be on Wednesday, and 88 degrees. The summer season officially begins June 20th at 9:42 in the evening, so the 21st, the first full day of summer. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And at the moment, downtown at the Arch, it's a cloudy sky, standing at 77 degrees. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday to everybody. We have a special guest today, Michael Kelly from Hancock and Kelly, who's been on with us a million times. Texted me this morning and asked if he could come on. I said, of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you and the entire team for coming out and all the way to the middle of nowhere and celebrated a surprise 50th birthday for me on Friday evening. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've got to meet the elusive Mr. Zimmerman. And, I was expecting him to be somebody I could handle. I had to look up at him.
Sure.
I was like, yes, sir. Thank you for coming and appreciate you being here. And I've never hit on your girlfriend,
So if you know what we're talking about, Michael is turning 50.
I am.
And about 3 months ago, I guess, Hancock, your best friend in the world, reached out to us and said, we're going to have a big surprise party. And as I told you, at opening day, I was standing there with you and your family at opening day, and I had the words in my mouth because I didn't know it was a surprise. Hey, I can't wait for your party in Defiance. And Rach walks up and said something to me, and like squirrel. And so I almost ruined it on opening day.
Well, let me tell you. I was completely gullible if there would have been any of those close calls. I had no clue.
Yeah.
I was completely shocked. I was traveling. Hancock and I were supposed to be going to a business event together where he and I were going to speak.
Yeah.
And it was not until I literally walked in the room. And I mean, it's in Defiance, Missouri.
Sure.
I would have so duped. I had no clue.
Yeah.
And the door opened, and you all and so many people from my life and all my worlds were sitting there. But the first most important person I saw was my mother.
Yes.
And it blew me away. And then we had this incredible night, and it was so special. And I just wanted to come and thank you personally for coming because it meant so much to me. And you guys are all good people.
You're welcome. It meant a lot to us. Like, I was texting with Vanessa the next day, and V's not the most emotional person, right? And I said, I hope you had the best time. She said, I hope you did too. And I said, being an emotional person, I said, it was just, I was so glad to be there to see that beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Like when you walked in, the thing between you and Hancock, and then you and your mom, and it was
special.
It was just great.
It was special, and then
you gave a great speech.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Well, I don't know how many people were there, maybe 150?
150?
Yeah, and so it was all aspects of my life, my political life, my personal life, my family life, my KMOX life, and so it just occurred. I had nothing prepared. It just occurred to me that these are all my individual families that have come together, and I'm a lucky dude. And I got to tell you, Dave, the 50, you went through it.
Sure
I don't
did.
know, Kev, you've been through it, Rach. It'll happen to you at 30. You have. I've been messed up over this one, and I've never worried about a birthday. And some people it doesn't bother, but you know, it's like a benchmark in time that I'm like, oh, what have I done with myself?
Yeah.
And to have that the other night was just one of the most special moments of my life, and it was super cool. And like I said, I'm intimidated by Mr. Zimmerman.
Sure.
now.
I said two things that night. I said everyone should get a party like this at some point in their life, and no
Totally.
one does. Like, I'm not, right? I
Right.
mean, it's great that happened for you, but everyone should know that feeling.
It was such an incredible feeling of love, and you know, and so many of you made this special attempt. You know, like, you know, this wasn't, you know, hey, come by, you know, 40 in Hampton and swing in for 10 minutes. You committed to a 45-minute drive, so it was just so special that people do that. And you're right. You know, I know you helped get the band, and because they wanted to have entertainment, and you found this incredible band. And as I worked that room, you know, you connected with people. And here's 2 takeaways. Number one, I will always go to stuff when people invite me now.
Right.
It meant so much to me.
Yeah.
Every person was there. In fact, I'm going to a wedding out of the country now because one of the people who was at the thing said to me, "Are you going to come to the wedding?"
Yes.
Well, of course I'm going to come to the wedding.
Now
I
am.
felt that way when I was standing at my dad's casket.
Uh-huh.
I've avoided so many funerals, and every person who walked in that funeral home meant something.
Right.
And I said, I'll never not go again.
Yeah. So I've taken that and showing up, and in the business that we are all in, showing up is often tough, right? Because you're invited to a lot of things, both work and family wise. So that'd be the one thing, and then the other thing that I took away is that I had found myself really looking at, you know, what am I doing? Why am I not happy? What about it's made me appreciate like what really matters is the people that love you, and to enjoy it. And I have to tell you, at a time where my life was in a bit of turmoil because of this imaginary date,
Sure.
it provided me some
Perfect.
relief and sanity.
That's great.
And I'm grateful to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I crashed your show, too.
Don't
But I
worry
figured you
about
were
it.
going to say something about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
how often do you all wind up out on a Friday night together? Now, Kevin was out of town.
I was in town, but-
coaching.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how often is it that you guys all do stuff together like that? It probably doesn't happen too often.
No.
Yeah.
not
No.
often.
At one point when you came in and the big surprise and everyone's happy and laughing and crying, and I turned to Rach and I said, "This is the party I wanted you to throw for me when I turned 60."
Yeah.
Rachel's like, my bad.
Well, and I would be remiss if I didn't take a couple of minutes to tell you about John Hancock. And I know you got to hear it that night. But, you know, few people love you the way that they would put this much time and effort into something. And, you know, I was just a dumb punk when I skipped into this guy's life. And we've created this long-term friendship, et cetera, that's just beyond special. But to have really put this together, and if you know John's not really great at telling a secret. I mean, keeping a secret. Telephone, television, tell John Hancock. You can get it out there. And so he, the fact that he pulled this off, and it was just so awesome. I know there was a ghost behind the machine there, and Georgiana's wife. But, I mean, who would have thought? The man that I spend my entire professional life fighting, the guy I talk with on the radio that I like to have beers with, threw me the most memorable night of my life. And that's what friendship is. And even in this world where we had these horrible protests going on, and I'm not trying to be too Pollyannish, right? But people were getting assassinated, a president saying crazy things, a governor in California who's asserting crazy things. And all of this turmoil, we're showing to you that, or at least I'm living what it is that I hoped, which is that this guy's a good dude, man.
Life's weird.
And he's my best pal, and he thinks the other way. And look at this. He just threw me my greatest night of my life.
Yeah.
So
How was Saturday for you?
it was rough.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
knew how far we had to drive. It took about 45 minutes to get out there, and then I went to the Dave Matthews concert.
Yeah.
So my friend kind of described it as, you know how when a plane starts to land, You know, and you may have that. Sometimes you just got to put some more fuel in it to keep it going.
Yeah.
So they took me to lunch coming back from the car to keep me going all the way to Dave Assey. I pretty much missed the entire Sunday. I had some snooze time.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you're almost 50 now.
At least you made it here today. Yeah, wait another 5 years.
How does 50 hit you? I know, like, because you and I have talked about it, and we both have our mental health struggles.
Right.
We're open and vulnerable about it. But the number, how does it hit you?
Not as bad as it did.
Good.
But look, if you're lucky, you get to live to 100. So you're more than halfway through this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's an extra thing that comes with being single and without kids, because, you know, so many of my friends are putting their kids into college, or, you know, my own peers are taking care of their parents in their final years of life. And it really makes you internalize that stuff for yourself. So, but the other night really was a nice wipe off of the dry erase board for me in terms of what I needed to think about.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But 50 doesn't scare me now.
Good.
What about you?
Every decade is weirder and harder. I really try to focus on one of these days you're going to look back and would give anything to be 60 again. You know, so I'm embracing it as much as I can. But it's just weird knowing, like, I feel like I've got 15 good years. Good, solid, pretty much like this years.
Right.
After that, you're on borrowed time.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. And you talk to people like, I don't know, you know, older folks in their 70s, and look, you can live to be 100 now, but sometimes people will jolt me and they'll be like, yeah, that's probably the last time I'll go to Los Angeles. And you're like, what? Oh my God. I've never looked at life that way. You know?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm trying not to think that way.
Right.
Rach, I really, I know I gave your boyfriend trouble the other day, but I was so grateful that you guys came.
It was so nice to be invited. I was so glad we went. Kurt was so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And he turned to me at one point. He goes, who put this together? And I'm like, John Hancock put it together. Because we watch you guys every Sunday. And I'm always like, they're such good friends. They're so cute together. It's such like an amazing relationship. And he got to see like up close how close you guys actually are. The fact that he would put that together for you and keep it a secret for so long, it was very touching and just very sweet to be a part of that moment.
Well, and you get to experience this all the time, but people, you know, the sure sign of like you've made it. Dave Glover was at your event. And
right.
The amount of mayors and senators coming up to me going, was that Dave Glover? I'm like, yeah, you got to go over and talk to him.
It was like a who's who. Like I kept looking around like, is that this person?
Oh, it was.
It was really cool to be there.
It was. It
fun.
really was. Johnny Rogers came up and said hello. That was nice.
John Rogers, who is just one of the most superb men you'll meet in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Not to mention what he does as an attorney.
So we were all together for Father's Day yesterday, and I was trying to kind of brag to Phoebe because Phoebe is interning with John's law firm because that's where my friend Noel Sebastianos is. I'm like, yeah, I ran into John Rogers, your senior partner, and XYZ. And Maureen goes, I know him really well. My pledge sister was his girlfriend or something like this in college. And I'm like, great, one-upped on Father's Day.
Take that, Dad.
By the way, Phoebe, if you see the Smurfs out there somewhere, because the Smurf movie is coming up, and a bunch of mascot anthropomorphic Smurfs, Papa Smurf is Phoebe Glover.
Really?
Yes, because she fit the costume.
Really?
Yes. And she had a rough one yesterday. Little gamey inside the suit. The pretty heavy suit. She's a tiny little girl.
And where is this at?
It was all over the place. Yesterday they were at Union Station. Then they took them to the Arch. And it's really hard to walk in these things.
I bet.
So they had to like take the van, and you can't really see very well. And they're at the Arch, and it's 85
almost like
degrees.
Transporting a hostage.
It is.
They can't see anything.
Yeah,
like, where are we going?
It is. She said they're all just in the back of this van, just crashing into each other. And
has it changed your thought process now when you see Fredbird or other people in costumes?
Yeah.
They're like, that could be Phoebes in there.
Those guys are no joke.
It's a running family joke that she was invited to try out to be Baby J, the Jayhawk at KU. Once again, because she's 5'0", and I really wanted her to, because the deal is you can't tell anyone, and then when you graduate, you wear the feet. and people are like, "Oh my God, you're Baby J."
Oh, okay.
So being a narcissist, I think that's cool, so I want to make her do it. And all my mascot dreams went out the window yesterday. She's like, "Yeah,
I'm not Baby J.
guess who's not going to be Baby J?"
But I'm Papa Smurf.
Sorry to crush your dreams, Father.
But they're paying her a fortune.
I bet.
A fortune.
I bet.
Yeah.
Share that number with me. I may want to go walk around as Superman for a while.
He's going to be like the first 8-foot tall Smurf.
But we love you, buddy.
Thanks for having
We
me.
love you.
I really mean it. That was such a commitment. Grateful.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Connected TV is one of the most effective channels for driving measurable advertising results. That's because when your customer's not scrolling, they're streaming. Let Viant put your ads right where they are, on the best content, across the most premium platforms in the world. We're talking real consumers, big screens, big outcomes. With Viant, you get people-based targeting, AI-powered performance, and full access to inventory built to seize eyeballs, not clickbait. Viant, where premium streaming meets performance. Visit ViantInc.com/CTV to unlock real results today.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters.
Tell you guys about Michael's. I was just texting with Mike last week, and look, I'm going to be honest with you. We don't talk that much. We've been together 24 years, but we don't talk that much because Mike is not only my most loyal client, my longest running client, but he's the easiest. He just he trusts me. I trust him. He doesn't need his hand held much. And when we do talk, it's always really cool. When I first met him, I remember him giving me some advice that I have used in almost a quarter century, 4,000 or 5,000 live endorsements a year, and I come back to this advice. He said, "Dave, you're going to do a bunch of lives for me. If you get caught and you just don't know what to say because it's your 5th time in the week talking about carpeting, just don't try to make it too funny. Don't try to make it too interesting, too sexy. Just go back to the basics. It's not rocket science." And I've not only used that for Mike, I've used that on all my clients. He keeps it simple. He always says, tell your people that if they go to a flooring store and they're confused at all, get back in your car and go somewhere else. It's not that complicated. Shaw, Coronet, Mohawk, all the name brands, they're going to have 3 or 4 lines within each brand with the entry level and the middle and the luxury, the room where you're not allowed to go, that kind of stuff. And Mike's going to be at one of the stores, and if not, he has given distinct operating orders that if someone comes in and says they're from the Dave Glover Show, you absolutely don't let them out of the door without giving them the absolute best price to reflect the fact that so much of his business over a quarter century has been from you guys. That's michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 124. Zachary says, like the Peoria Chiefs jersey, Dave. Thank you. Like to represent.
It looks very nice on you.
Thank you.
It's like it's the perfect fit. It looks like you got it tailored or something.
Wow.
It's a good one.
It's fancy.
Wow. I feel like Michael Kelly.
I feel like Michael Kelly on his 50th birthday surprise.
Speech. Speech.
Let me just start with the shirt.
I owe it all to the shirt.
So I had a great weekend, great Father's Day weekend. Had Michael Kelly on Friday. On Saturday, Nick and his girlfriend Bree are really into this monthly wrestling at the South Broadway Athletic Club, and I've been hearing about it, and this guy Moondog, and so I went, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I mean, it's wrestling, right? So you know what you're in for, but it was really impressive. The wrestlers were way better than I thought. Crowd was super into it. They sell $2 Busch Light drafts. I mean, it's just like, it's everything you want.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. And at one point, I got up to go to the bathroom, and I walked by these guys who were in their 20s, and one guy goes, "Dude, this is totally fake." Like, wow. Thanks, Sherlock.
You cracked the code.
Yeah, you're the only one who knows that. Keep that under your belt.
Why don't you give it a new name while you're at it? That's what all those Gen Zers do.
Right.
Gonna rename a thing that was already a thing.
How was your respective weekends?
Very nice. Pretty chill.
Same as all of them. A lot of time at the ballpark.
Same as all
Which was good, though. No, I like that. I enjoy doing that.
Had dinner with my dad for Father's Day.
Nice.
Got a steak at Tucker's.
Can't beat that.
That's our spot.
Surprised you could get in.
You win.
Made some
we
ribs.
went right when they opened to kind of beat the crowd. So it was very, very nice.
Made ribs. They were very yummy.
I wrote down the dumbest thing I've ever written down on my show sheet. I was in the zone deeply. And I got the thought, what if we all just woke up one day, because I was watching a trailer for a movie where someone wakes up and the world has changed. And I thought, what if we just all woke up one day and everyone was talking baby talk?
But you're not?
But no, I am. But then it was
I mean, like, if we don't do it, but everybody else is, or you're
no, everyone is.
Okay.
I'm the same way.
Okay.
I'm like, me want milky. and but then my thought was, once we realize this is just how we talk now, would we change the spelling of words? Like, would grammar change? Would we read novels in baby talk? And I wrote this down in my show sheet, like, the people are going to love this.
This is funny.
This is going to be great.
We could go back to the DGS baby talk era, the infamous era where we were all
people
sliding
love
into
that
baby.
one. How did that even
I liked
start?
I don't know. It happened one day. Like, it was the Close and Tony era for sure.
Yeah.
And it just happened. I don't know.
I remember
baby talk time.
Tony especially leaning into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Like the tone, too, not just the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way.
Like you're having a business meeting and you're like, oh, you hurt me feelings, you know. But no one's like, quit being a baby. Objection overruled.
Dave sounded kind of like Jar Jar.
Yeah, that was a little Jar Jar-ish. Misa no like that.
The things I could have done with my life if I didn't think about things like this. We had a listener today, not calling him out. I'm sure he's a very nice person, but a guy named Glenn who said, I can't listen to the show anymore. It's way too political. It's not as fun as it used to be. And I'm like, what show are you listening to? Like, we get crap from other people like, this show's so stupid. All you do is talk about pooping. And, it's like...
well, they are kind of one and the same.
I was going to say it can be both, but I guess that's the...
They are kind of the same thing.
The beauty of the show.
The beauty and the problem of the show.
We do say a lot of things like, I don't want a military parade.
Which is more juvenile at the moment, the world of politics or poop jokes?
Easy. You want me to do this or wait?
Yes, please.
Okay. Tell you guys about BioBalance Health. Let me just bottom line it for you. We're all aging. We're talking about Michael turning 50. I just turned 60. You may be turning 40. If you look back on your physical, mental, emotional health with fondness and, if I could only feel the way I did 10, 15 years ago, well, you can. I mean... There are diseases that used to kill people that no longer do because of medical advancements. We're making them all the time. Now we have like the Ozempic shot where you can just lose 40, 50 pounds. Same thing happens with testosterone replacement. If you go contact Dr. Kathy Maupin, take a blood test, she'll read it and she'll be honest with you like, nope, you're fine. It must be something else that you're feeling. Let's check your cholesterol, whatever. Or yes, you're a great candidate for this. I've been doing it for 6 years. I'm a bit of a wuss. I don't like any sort of medical procedures, but twice a year I go in, I get my pellets. I immediately feel better. Right next door is BioBalance Skin, where whether you just want your face to look 10 years younger all the time, or you have a big event, a wedding, a class reunion, you want to get some micro needling, which makes your face just pop about a week later, they can help you out. BioBalanceHealth.com.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
We take you now to Dave Murray's forecast.
A summer feel, all thanks to the high humidity direct from the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, I guess we have to call it now. A mix of clouds and sunshine, a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but it's not an all-day rain by any means. In fact, a lot of dry time, 84. Tonight, plenty of clouds, couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower, 68. On Tuesday, partly sunny skies, spot shower or thunder shower. Lots and lots of dry time on Tuesday, but up to 92 for the high. If we hit 90 plus, that will be the first time we'd have done it this year. And that would be the best chance on Tuesday. Best chance of strong to severe weather will be on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Zero Res wants to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms, clean starting at just $129. $75 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and ask for the Dave Glover KMOX special.
Taco to go, taco to, and a big Q. Taco to go, taco to go. Quick Trip Taco just $2.99. Comes with a big Q, they steal so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose for $2.99. You really can't lose. Taco to go, taco to. This deal's legit. Taco to go, taco. Only at Quick Trip. Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go. $2.99 to go.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 135. Robert says, would you do your next live with baby talk?
No.
That might get a little too weird.
I think they would appreciate it less.
You all have fun with that. I don't even do baby talk to babies.
Let's just get this over with. Because now that it's in my head, like, you're so political, but we talk about the world here. Like, you know, like I met someone at Michael Kelly's thing who knew my name but didn't know the show. And anytime someone says, what's the show about? And I feel so stupid because I'm like, everything, nothing. Like, but it really, truly, truly is. But we talked about the military parade on Friday. And I have to say that, and this is not Trump. This is not Trump derangement syndrome. I don't think that Trump put this together. I don't think he's an event planner. But on Friday, Wheel said something to the effect of, if you're going to do a North Korean style sort of military parade, you better bring the noise. It better be impressive and intimidating and scary. And I watched a lot of it on Saturday, and it was anything but. It was just underwhelming. Did you see much of it, Rach?
Yeah, I watched a good chunk of it.
Did you agree? Did it hit you? It just hit me like, and I don't want jackbooted North Korean, you know, that's not what I'm looking for in my country.
Mm-hmm.
But no one marched. Everyone was just walking. They're just walking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little reluctant to speak about it because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I understand.
Never stops me.
I understand what you're saying. I don't want that either. I don't want a North Korean style military parade. But when it comes to like what they're pulling off in those parades versus what we pulled off, it was just two very different vibes.
Very different.
I was more just struck by it didn't seem like a large crowd turned out for it.
Yeah.
And it just felt I wasn't like, oh yeah, nobody showed up just like they shouldn't have. It wasn't like that at all.
No,
but
it's my country.
But it was just the kind of thing where it's like, well, this is supposed to be a big to-do.
Kind of
did
womp
they
womp.
pull it off? I don't think they necessarily did.
Yeah. And on the other side of it, and it's not a tit for tat, it's not a zero-sum game. It just happened to fall on the same day. Well, it didn't happen to fall on the same day. They did the No Kings protest because of this. Seemed to be really big. It's, I think, either the third or the seventh, which I know are not next to each other, but I heard it today, largest protest in the history of the country.
There was a huge crowd out here just outside our building
That's
in
what I
St.
heard.
Louis. I saw a ton of pictures like on Reddit and on Twitter, people marching. And as far as I know, didn't have any issues here in St. Louis with the protests. So
Interesting weekend for that. Let's talk some baseball. We have Bernie Miklasz coming up in about an hour from now, so we'll get deep into the Cardinals with Bernie. But I have some questions for you, Wheels.
All right.
Walk me through the whole thing with Contreras and blocking first base and picking the ball up that hit him and handing it to him and
Yeah. So if you saw the play, seemed pretty routine, right? Contreras caught the ball, and then after he caught the ball as he was stepping off the bag to throw the ball around the infield, his back foot, he stepped backward a little bit into the line, and then the runner, Durbin, slammed into him, fell to the ground, and got up, and he was clearly pissed.
Yeah.
And the first base coach kind of got in between them and calmed it down, but then the Brewers dugout was yelling at Contreras. In particular, their first baseman, Rhys Hoskins, was yelling at him because that can be a thing that somebody does on purpose, right? That he didn't. It would be stupid to do it there. There was really nothing going on before that would lead to that. But that's the kind of thing that a first baseman, if they were trying to be dirty, could do, just kind of like catch you off guard at the last second with a little drop step. I haven't seen a big leaguer do that ever, because for the most part, they're not getting dirty like that. And secondly, it's also risky for that guy because you might get spiked.
Yeah.
You might get something twisted up too. So they were on him, though, because it was clearly his mistake. And they're right. He did. He goofed up.
Yeah.
He didn't do it on purpose. It may be just the lack of experience playing there, and he just wasn't as aware of where his foot was as he should be. And then, I don't know if you caught it, Dave, but there was a little section there. The next inning, Rhys Hoskins got hit by a pitch, and he's on first base. First of all, he was pretty upset that he was hit. And
did that seem intentional?
I didn't think so. But you never know, I guess. But then Hoskins was on first base, and he and Contreras, you could see them talking. And at one point, the camera catches Hoskins saying, "It doesn't matter if it wasn't on purpose." Right? So his point is, you did something. Let's just put it this way. His view, this is Hoskins' view. We believe you didn't do it on purpose, but you did something stupid.
Negligent.
And that's why we're barking at you, because you can't do that, essentially. And then when Contreras comes up the next time, he gets drilled. Clearly intentional.
Yes.
Clearly intentional. And he just, I loved how he went and picked up the ball and handed it to Contreras.
I wonder what you thought of that.
There's two ways to read that. That could be, okay, Weenie, didn't hurt, whatever.
We're cool now, right?
Right. Or, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
We're done. Could be read either way. Considering that the Contreras brothers were literally standing feet apart, it's probably the second one. It's probably like, all right, I get it. You sent your message. It's over. And he went to first base, and it was basically inconsequential for the rest of that game.
Until he hit the home run.
Until he hit the home run and dogged it. It took him 29 seconds to round the bases. And he was definitely making a point. He was definitely making a point. And actually, I thought the greater point there was Nolan Gorman's home run, which came right after the hit by pitch. Right, so Quintana hits him, and then Gorman comes up a couple batters later, hits a 3-run bomb, and blows the game open. I thought that was a great, punch in the face. Take that, big boy. Tom and I was tweeting about it, and I got the quote wrong, but remember the audio. My favorite Mike Shannon highlight is when Kerry Wood threw up and in on Albert, and then the next pitch, Albert hit it about 900 feet for a home run, and Shannon's call is just the greatest. He's like, take a whiff of that, big boy. And that's what we were both thinking of. And Tom got the quote right, but we were out kind of posting that on a text thread and all that. But it had that feel to it. Like Gorman hit this bomb and is like, all right, take that, dude. You want to be super petty and drill somebody over a mistake that got nobody hurt, by the way. Then that's how, this is how you handle it. You handle it by doing something on the field and beating the other team. And then Contreras homered later. And then his brother homered. And his brother went around the bases even slower than he did. So I thought that last part, those two, to me, that was funny. I don't understand why Quintana didn't get thrown out of the game. 20 years ago, there's no way he would have been thrown out of that game because back then it would be, there has to be a warning first. All that has to happen now is an umpire has to think that it was intentional. And their instruction from Major League Baseball is if you think it was intentional, eject the player. There's no question that it was intentional. I understand what old school baseball justice is, but that is different than the way these are enforced now. And I thought the umpires should not have let that go because that's the kind of thing that escalates the situation. If you're going to let that go and then put the warning on, so now the Cardinals don't get to hit someone, right? So Now they got their free shot over an innocent mistake that didn't get someone hurt. I thought that was a little weird. Not controversy worthy, right? Not something you should rage about. But I didn't like the handling of it based on the way that Major League Baseball has handled intentional drillings in the last 5 to 10 years. This did not fit those previous examples from the last 5 to 10 years. They are told now, if you think it's on purpose, eject the pitcher. And it was clearly on purpose. Clearly.
Can you do the Rafael Devers in 3 minutes?
Sure. I don't know if you guys, did we talk about it on the show, the Devers thing in Boston?
Yes.
So, for people that missed it, Devers is their superstar. He is their $30 million a year, $250 million contract guy. He's an all-star. He's an MVP candidate. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. And in the spring, the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman, and he's a third baseman. And Devers was their third baseman, but he's a bad defender, terrible defender. So they went to ask him to move to DH, and he refused, and there was this big thing. He finally gave in on that. And then when their first baseman got hurt, they went to him and like, would you play some first base? Because we could use you there now. And he was like, nope, not doing it under any circumstance. And this all blew up. And he called out the front office, and he made a big deal out of it. And then yesterday they traded him. So they traded Boston traded a superstar hitter essentially just to get him out of the clubhouse. And the trade the stuff they got in return was fine, but it didn't fit the talent of the guy they're giving up.
Is probably their best one.
He's the money piece.
Yeah.
They threw him in to get rid of money on the San Francisco side. But they got a young pitcher, Kyle Harrison, who's kind of their Quinn Matthews.
Oh, they were paying Hicks a lot of money?
Yeah, he's making like $12 million a year, $13 million. Yeah, exactly. He'll be in the bullpen now, which is where he belongs. San Fran was starting him, and it was a disaster, just like we found out it would be here. But they gave up a couple of good young prospects. Their first-round pick from last year, so that would be J.J. Weatherholt type player for the Cardinals. The lefty Kyle Harrison is kind of their Quinn Matthews. So a couple of higher-level guys, but you would think you'd get more for a 28-year-old superstar.
Yeah.
But to me, the big takeaway from a St. Louis perspective is this sucks for the Cardinals because the Giants just got a lot better. And they're already a playoff. And I don't just mean for this year. This guy's on a 6 or 7 year contract, still 8 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers are already a machine. The Cubs are obviously good and have all the money in the world. The Braves are good and built for the long term. The Mets are a big money team. And now the Giants, who have always been a money team but have failed to get stars, they now have a superstar. And they're already in contention. The National League got tougher with this trade. That's a tough move for everybody in the National League, but obviously that impacts the Cardinals, and not just this year, but in the coming years. So in other words, I guess what I'm saying is you better try to start working toward winning divisions and not counting on wild cards, because the wild card spots are going to be tough.
And we'll talk more about that about an hour from now when Bernie joins us. We'll talk all about the Cardinals' chances and the next 3 weeks and how important they are, so forth and so on. Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. They're a great company. They're a great partner to me. I think the way they treat me is the way they're going to treat you, which is professionally, with great courtesy, with great deference. I've had many people from the DGS either reach out to Universal Windows Direct to get a quote or to actually use them to put new windows in, and they just rave about them, how great they were. So right now they have options for you. You can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal before you ever make a payment. Locally, call 314-334-2522 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. favorite SNL coin.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back, DGS 150. Rach, what's the thing about graduation applause?
So there was a kindergarten graduation.
Which, of course, there should be.
Can we stop with that?
I don't know. I had a kindergarten graduation back in like 1996
Did you?
or whenever
I
it
did
was.
too.
Yeah, it was very
I did too.
fun. I mean, I get why people like to do it. It's congratulating kids on like typically their first year of school, what have you. And everybody looks super cute in their little caps and gowns. But they had a rule that you could only clap once per child.
I mean, like clap.
Yeah, like a single clap. Like little Dave Glover's receiving his diploma now, and everyone just goes, And the reasoning behind it was kind of, well, let's see how you guys feel about it. One was to save time. They don't want a ton of applause dragging on.
I know where you're going to go.
The other is some kids might receive more applause than others, and they didn't want to make anyone feel bad.
Good.
And,
You know when a good time to learn that is? Kindergarten.
When you're receiving a diploma for finishing kindergarten.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's the way it is. Guess what, kid? Your entire life, you're going to get more or less applause in quotes, because it could be marriage, it could be your job, it could be your health, but nothing is fair. And I don't think you need to grab a 2-year-old and be like, look, life sucks. But I mean...
But it is an interesting question, like if you are going to shield your child from the harsh realities of life, at what point do you stop shielding them? Or do you shield them all the way through college graduation? Everyone's allowed one clap at college, and then suddenly you're in like the big bad world, and you have to figure things out.
I think that's... I don't say this very often. I think that is some putrid woke BS. We're going to clap once.
Can I just say, though, how about this? Why is it so hard to say we will clap at the end so that we can get through this without delays? Because you've seen it. I've seen it. I saw it in high school and in college where some person's name gets read and their whole family loses their minds for 5 minutes while some other kid's name is getting talked over because you won't stop making noise. Why can't we just do it all at the end and then congratulate your own child when you're talking to your own child? Have a party. Like, why did we get to the point where we've got to disrupt an entire proceeding so you can scream for your kid while everyone else is just waiting to hear their kid's name called?
Have you seen the jackass antics that people are doing now when they graduate, especially from like college, where they
backflips and stuff?
Yes. Like dancing and crazy and screaming and throwing money. And it's like,
I saw a video the other day of a kid walked across stage and he was dancing, and the principal was like, no, go back over there and walk over here like normal, and then I'll give you the diploma.
Good.
I don't mind if it's like as they're off the stage and they're just like dancing and happy, but let's calm it down.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to stop the show. You're not the star.
Another thing you need to learn.
You're not the star of the show.
Another thing you need to learn.
This is a cast.
Yes.
Every cast member is equal in this. Let's not, you're not the star.
Yeah, there was a TikTok about it, and it was very bizarre to hear like, little Adeline, you're up next, and then clap.
I don't like that. That feels weird.
That's worse than no clapping at all.
But
Like, you should just not clap at all.
Yeah. Just like, hey, to keep this moving and get you all out of here faster, we're going to ask that everybody just applaud at the end, because then this will be simpler. And the problem is, if you do that, there are going to be people that just won't do it.
One of the longest nights of my life, and Nick knows this, was when he graduated from the college school, this private, alternative, delightfully weird school. And he had 30 kids in his graduating class, and they each gave like a 10-minute speech.
What's the point of that?
Oh, ruining your life. That was the point of it, making you wish you weren't alive.
I don't know. I think we've made all of those. Like, our graduation from high school was a big deal. Super serious, super formal. I didn't love that as a student. I thought it was boring.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like 9 hours long, and it wasn't chaos.
Yeah.
And as a parent, I would appreciate that we're going to do this. We're going to honor every person. We're going to keep it moving. We're not going to be here for 7 hours.
Did I ever tell you about my graduation? My class, and I was not, but my class was one of the best classes to come through my high school in decades. Like, you're going to state in every sport, and state champion wrestlers and academics through the roof. The class before mine, 1981, I'm looking at you, we're just criminals. And so they set off fireworks during the graduation. And so our year, they said, your parents are going to sit with you. And so we're doing our rehearsal, and Colin Kirby, this kid who is not very popular, in the middle of it, got up and walked out. And so we all walked out. And so our parents all said, we're not going to do it. And so they sat us next to strangers. Next to every graduate, they had 2 empty chairs. And I graduated sitting next to 2 people I'd never met.
It's really bizarre.
Now weird?
What's weirder than that? That or one clap?
They're similar. They're similar.
I can't get over like the weirdness of that. So like Johnny Smith.
That's all you get, Johnny.
Jill Jones.
And for some people,
it just seems
for some
odd.
people, the single clap's going to be louder. You know, there's going to be popular kids.
Somebody's going to be like,
there's going to be nobody kids. Just it's the way it's always been.
I don't think you should be all that worried about it.
No.
But if you are, just, hey, everybody, let's just do this. We're going to go through this. There's only 24 kids in the class.
Right.
It's only going to take a few minutes. Let's applaud at the end. Thank you.
Everything I've learned, if I've learned one thing in my 25-year career, hosting almost 1,000 events, playing 700 band gigs, here's what I've learned. You listening? Everything is too long.
Keep it moving.
Everything goes on twice as long as it should. Fundraisers. People don't want to come. People don't want to come to your event. They'd rather just write you a check. So don't punish them when they get there with all of your stupid crap that only you care about. Smart Mouth, Rach?
Yeah, I was really grateful for Smart Mouth on Friday night because we had Michael Kelly's party. And, you know, you're meeting people for the first time. You're talking close because there's a band playing. If you are worried you have bad breath, that can turn into a stressful situation. Luckily, with Smart Mouth, I know my bad breath is eliminated at the source for 24 hours if I'm using it once in the morning and once at night. That in a in harmony with the Smart Mouth mints to kind of give you a little boost throughout the day. You just don't have to worry about having bad breath when you use Smart Mouth.
Yeah, I always talk about the gum health and the mouth sore. So the gum health is for people like me who have gingivitis. And the mouth sore for people like me that get fever blisters. I've never sounded sexier, but I do get fever blisters. Rach gets canker sores, and the mouth sore just kicks them in like a day, like nothing else ever has. We can save you $2.50 off everything you buy by going to smartmouth.com/Glover.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Bill talks about why he loves 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I was looking to renovate a home that I purchased. They came out, did all of the work in a timely fashion, and looks first rate.
Bill, would you recommend 3-Day Kitchen and Bath?
Oh, yes, definitely. Not only because of the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the line. From the beginning until the end, that they were there and with me. And as we went along, I saw some things that I thought I might want to change, and they were happy to do that. Really, really pleased with the way they work. As I said, not only the quality of the work, but also the quality of the service along the way.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got clouds. It is 79 degrees downtown at the Arch. The man accused of killing a Minnesota lawmaker and wounding another went to the homes of 2 other legislators on the night of the shootings, intending to inflict more carnage against those on his hit list. But one of the other state lawmakers is on vacation, and the suspect left the other house after police arrived. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty says this is a frightening time.
Political violence is prevalent, and the way we talk to and about each other has raised the temperature to unfathomable levels. We cannot continue on this way. In times of tragedy, but also every day, as we navigate our daily lives, we need to find ways to support one another.
The suspect meticulously planned the attacks, carrying out surveillance missions, taking notes on the homes and people he targeted, and disguising himself as a police officer just before the shootings. President Trump wishes the G7 still included Russia.
President Trump is musing about making the G7 bigger as he meets with fellow world leaders in the Canadian Rockies.
The G7 used to be the G8.
That was before Russia was removed 11 years ago after annexing Crimea.
And I would say that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in.
The president says life is more complicated without Vladimir Putin at the table.
Putin speaks to me. He doesn't speak to anybody else. He doesn't want to talk, because he was very insulted when he got thrown out of the G8.
Asked if China should also join the G7.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I don't mind that.
Beijing and Moscow would notably be authoritarian governments in a group whose other members are all democracies. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The tornado that hit North St. Louis 1 month ago killed 5 people and injured dozens.
Somebody trapped in the house?
Now, St. Louis City Police have released body cam footage of officers responding to people trapped in their homes on May 16th. In the video, Chief Robert Tracy says he's proud of how his department jumped into action and how the community responded.
I've seen firsthand the incredible strength and resilience from you, our community and our neighbors, and that's what gives us hope for what's ahead.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is embarking on his first international trade mission today, heading to Paris.
The former car dealership owner aims to leverage his sales experience in meetings with diplomats and business executives. The delegation will focus on strengthening ties with companies already in Missouri, also attracting new foreign investment. While in Paris, they'll also attend the prestigious Paris Air Show and visit the Normandy American Cemetery that honors fallen World War II veterans. The trip is funded by the Hawthorne Foundation and runs through Friday. Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk in the market for work.
It's a really tough job market right now for college and high school grads. A Dow Jones analysis of Labor Department data finds just a 2.2% unemployment rate among college-educated workers in the U.S. aged 35 to 44. But that rate triples among younger grads with a diploma aged 20 to 24 because a lot of U.S. employers right now are pulling back on hiring because of a lot of uncertainty. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's up 295 points to 42,492.
A summer feel, all thanks to the high humidity direct from the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, I guess we have to call it now. A mix of clouds and sunshine, a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but it's not an all-day rain by any means. In fact, a lot of dry time, 84. Tonight, plenty of clouds, couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower, 68. On Tuesday, partly sunny skies, spot shower or thunder shower. Lots and lots of dry time on Tuesday, but up to 92 for the high. If we hit 90 plus, that would be the first time we'd have done it this year. And that would be the best chance on Tuesday. Best chance of strong to severe weather will be on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Abe Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Siding Express and SidingExpress.com. Transform your home with the beauty and durability of James Hardie Siding. At Siding Express, they specialize in James Hardie Siding installation. Visit SidingExpress.com today to schedule a free consultation. That's SidingExpress.com. We've got Clouds 81. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. This is the last day to vote in the A-list. So we ask you to, if you downloaded it but haven't been voting, or if you haven't downloaded it yet, it's really easy. It just takes an email. And if everyone votes, we win. And if you don't, we lose. And it's your fault. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
we
pretty,
are blaming you.
it's pretty
the
simple.
audience.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, let me down. It's fine. Did you see the fat ass that sat on the jewel-encrusted chair?
What?
Yeah.
You haven't seen this?
Swarovski
No.
crystal chair at the museum,
Italy, right?
I think.
There's this Swarovski crystal chair, and it's just a chair. It's just a normal chair, which is the art of it, all covered in these jewels,
Nice.
sitting in a room by itself. It's a museum, and some tourist walks up, sits on it, crashes it, and then the really horrible part, had he stood up, found a proctor and said, I sat on your chair, I'm really sorry, but he and his wife beat it out of there. They just run for the door and
Oh my
just
God.
leave it like, wasn't us.
I would have done the very same thing.
I probably would have too.
Yeah,
but I'm a bag of
sat.
crap.
I would have sat in the chair, and then when it broke, I would have said, "Cheese it," and we'd have been out the door.
Do you think either of you would have been stupid enough to think I should sit in
No.
that artwork?
I mean, I probably would not have sat in the chair.
Now,
There you go.
in fairness, not in fairness, this is not an excuse, but if I'm a museum, I'm not having anything out that anybody might do this to. Like, there's going to be a rope. Like, you can look at this, do not sit on it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at the lack of security.
I can't see if there's a sign. Like, there looks like there might be a little sign next to it.
You'd think
but-
there must be something that's like,
But, like,
I know it's a chair, but you can't sit on it.
but you would, like, maybe that's because we're in the U.S. When you go to museums, it's like they always got the rope that's like, do not come to, so don't touch this. You can take photos, whatever. Oh, God, people are so stupid.
I have a couple more stupid things for you. A good friend of mine, a lady, texted me today, emailed me so she could include the invitation. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll tell you guys in the break. She's going to a wedding. She's not in the wedding. She's a guest. Now, Rach, maybe you've heard of this, being at the wedding age. But it was understandable, like, hey, for the reception, no jeans, no T-shirts. Okay, fine. And we would like for you to stick to this color palette. And then they give you 4 choices of colors that you can wear to the reception because they want everyone to be matchy-match.
Not going to your reception.
I don't think that's
getting a little silly.
I don't think that's super uncommon. I mean, I not something I would do, but I don't think that's super uncommon.
No, I don't doubt that it's common. I just question the dumbassery of it.
Yeah.
I see stuff like this on the internet all the time where it's like, there's a subreddit where you post what you're going to wear to a wedding and people tell you if it's appropriate or not. And I saw one just earlier today. It was a man posted his outfit and he was saying, yeah, there's all these rules, one of them being no suits, but yeah, it's like no jeans. I do think it's reasonable to expect people to look nice for your wedding.
Yes.
It's a little unreasonable to expect them to go out and buy an entirely new outfit just to
Agreed.
accommodate when they're already
Giving you money.
setting aside the entire day for you and, yes, giving you money, buying you a
Weddings
gift.
are already number one with a bullet, the dumbest things we do.
The way we do them.
It's the biggest waste of money ever. And I've got a daughter whose wedding I will pay for. And if she wants a big wedding, she'll have a big wedding. But I'll be disappointed in her, not because it'll cost me money, but because it's douchey.
So when you saw the colors, does that mean like, okay, if you have a black sport coat, these other colors are the only things to go
Yes.
with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not buying anything special to go to your wedding. I'll just not go and send you a check.
Here's another one.
Maybe that's what they want.
Yeah, just trying to keep you away so you don't have to feed you the dry chicken. You ever heard of sleep inertia?
Maybe.
Kind of sounds familiar.
What is it?
It is a stupid, fancy, overthinking term for waking up in the morning.
Oh.
I read a
Okay.
whole scientific article thinking, because you know me, I like science. Oh, there's something here. I'm going to learn something. And they're like, so studies have shown that when you go from a deep REM sleep to the awake state, there's a in the middle time. Like, yeah, it's called waking up.
Yeah, we all know that.
We all do it.
Nobody just turns on the lights and go, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Sleep inertia.
Well,
I had that this morning.
isn't that just special? My sleep inertia is not good.
No, and some people have more, some people
Yeah.
have less.
Mine's long. It takes forever to do that whole from sleepy time to like I'm awake and alert.
And guess what? You also have waking inertia.
Yeah.
I have trouble getting to sleep.
Oh, all right. That
So-
one. Maybe there's a connection because like
Could be.
that one for me works great.
Yeah.
But the waking up one, man.
Now I have a topic, kind of a ruling, and I'm not quite sure. And my idea is half-baked and emotional. But I saw an article that was very critical of the MLB. Actually, that's not true. It was interviewing John Rocker, who is a former pitcher who is pretty famously racist and homophobic and that kind of stuff.
That's what he got in trouble for when he was playing.
Mr. Hot Take.
Yeah.
And he said, let's cut out the gay S because it was LGBT Day, Pride Day at a ballpark, or maybe all the ballparks. And so the players were wearing rainbow garb and so forth and so on. You'll see them wearing pink for breast cancer awareness.
Yep.
I'm down with both of these things. I'm very supportive of Susan Komen. I'm very supportive of LGBTQ and Pride Fest, and I'm very supportive. I also wince. I know these guys are getting paid millions of dollars, but they're not lawn gnomes. They're not billboards. I think it's already weird that you make them wear QT or Quikrete or whatever on the side of their uniforms. I don't think that. I'm just not for it. I don't think you should make a grown person wear something they may be uncomfortable with. Find another way to celebrate. What do you guys think? Am I being John Rockerish?
I thought that typically, and I could be wrong, I thought that typically players have the choice to opt in or out of this. Because wasn't that a
You may
thing
be
with
right.
hockey? There were like some
Yeah.
pride nights with hockey, and some like Russian players or something were
Yes.
just like, I'm not doing that. And then they didn't have to wear the jersey. So, I mean, I can't imagine caring about, I can't imagine seeing the Dodgers logo in rainbow and having an emotional response to that. I think we need to take some deep breaths if that's something that bothers you, John Rocker. If someone doesn't want to participate, don't participate.
I don't understand why anybody gets mad about any of these things. What's there to be mad about?
My thing is, I don't like
here's
dressing people up.
Here's what sports are just simply trying to appeal to as many people as they possibly can to make more money. That's what they're doing. They want to appeal to every population as much as they can, every part of the population as much as they can, because that'll mean better long-term revenue. That's what they're doing. And guess who gets paid off of that? Players. So the more revenue, the more money goes to the players. And the players are not required, to my understanding, to put on anything that is related to any theme day. Now, a lot of them choose to. Now, they don't have to wear pink bats or use pink bats. They don't have to wear pink ribbons or anything like that. They don't have to do those things. They choose to do a lot of those things. So a lot of the things you'll see, like Ellie de la Cruz has bright pink hand mittens when he gets on the bases and things like that. That's a style thing that a lot of guys are choosing to do. But they don't make people, you'll see it on Mother's Day. They have a lot of pink bats. You'll see players swinging, and they're not made to do that. The players do that. They have that choice. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but if you want to get rid of any particular day, then you should be arguing that you should get rid of all days, including Christian Day. Now, I don't think you should. I think you should keep them all. It's fine. Let teams and let them try to reach out to as many fans as they can. That's the entire point. It is the entire point. And you would think that a former player would understand more revenue for the team means more money for players.
Yeah, to me, going like, oh, well, we can't do this day because then it leaves out this day. It's very similar to the kindergarten graduation and getting one clap. Like, look, sometimes some groups of people are going to have like a special day that's just for them, just like you have a birthday, okay? It's like, why do we have a Pride Month? We don't have a straight month. Like, okay, that's like me coming to you on your birthday and being like, well, my birthday is on July 30th. Like, it's not my day. Like, just let people have their day. Participate or don't. I just don't understand the mental gymnastics we have to go through in order to make the fact that we have a problem with it, which is obviously this John Rocker guy has a huge problem with it, then to be like, oh, I'm just using logic to prove my point. Like, no, you're not, actually.
I have one more for you. Have you guys heard of the new COVID variant?
No.
That's catching on in California?
Is it razor blade throat?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's called the razor blade throat COVID.
That sounds pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it means you get a sore throat.
Mm-hmm. that one got me. That one got me.
It's a vivid description, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok of a person who has it, and they were just like, dude, like so much worse than COVID. So let's hope it stays small.
Yeah, that stinks. I've had
Yeah,
some
COVID
pretty
doesn't
bad-
really spread, so I think we'll be okay.
I've had some pretty bad sore
It
throats.
doesn't seem to be very catching.
No, it's not. It's not very contagious, I don't think.
Isn't it weird that we went through that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so weird.
And there's no evidence that we won't do it again.
And especially
we didn't change anything.
Especially at the beginning of it, when I was washing off my mom's grocery bags with Windex outside before I brought them in, because we didn't know. We didn't know how it spread.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just insane. Let me tell you guys about Triton Exteriors. I know that if you listen to the show on a regular basis, you hear these lives and you hear them every day, and I don't want to be a strain on your ears, but there are any number of people out there who either need exterior work right now, a new roof, roof repairs, siding, gutters, fences, or you could be that person who next week needs it. And I can't tell you how often that happens. Like, people will call and say, hey, who's the jeweler? Who's the pizzeria place? It's Triton Exteriors. They are a customer service focused company. Tim, the owner, who happen to be very fond of, was in the high end restaurant business, and he everything is the answer is yes. What's the question? What can we do for you to make you happy? We're always the middle bid because we don't do shortcuts. We're never the highest bid because someone's always trying to take advantage of you. So if you have exterior work and you want someone you can trust, someone who will be very quick to respond, just make sure you mention the DGS, 314-717-1159 or triton-stl.com.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. And say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
So happy to be able to do lives for Schnucks. I have shopped at Schnucks my entire life. My mom shopped there when I was a kid, and now that, I'm an adult and leading my own life, I've always chosen to shop at Schnucks. It's a friendly store. The price is right. They do many things to make your grocery shopping experience just a little better than, some other places out there. One of those things being the Schnucks Rewards app. The Schnucks Rewards app, you earn 2% cash back on every single thing you purchase. That alone is worth a download, plus it's free and easy to set up. They also show you personalized savings based on what you typically buy at Schnucks. You can create your grocery list straight there on the app. I love doing that. It's super convenient. That way I always know where my list is at. And if I'm looking for something I've never picked up before, it'll tell me which aisle it is in the store, which is really, really nice. You can even order curbside pickup or delivery straight from the app. There's a million other reasons to download it. But like I said, it's free. It's easy. Go download it today. Just search for the Schnucks Rewards app.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com. It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
KMOX is everywhere. 1120 a.m. Streaming live on the Odyssey app and now at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. Dave Glover here with Rachel Zimmerman, Kevin Wheeler, Andrew Stoles. That's my least favorite part of the show. I'm always afraid I'm going to forget your guys' names. Not because you're not close to me, but because I'm struggling. This is so difficult. When you are 60 and you lost both parents in some degree to dementia, and it starts in the early 70s in your family, and you have the genetic marker, it is so difficult to not take every brain fart as here we go.
Yeah.
It's like if you have the genetic marker for skin cancer, and every time you take a shower, you're like, there it is. Nope, there it is. Here it go. I'm dead. Like, that's how it feels to be me, which I don't know the cure for that. I mean, I think all you can do is do your best. I think I'm very fortunate to have this show because so much of what I read is keep your mind active and do puzzles and Sudoku and things like that. Well, doing this every day, 24-hour job, I don't need to do that. I try to keep myself in good shape, but I don't know. So, yeah, whenever I'm like, Rachel Zimmerman, Kevin Octavius, Andrew Bimoni-face.
Kevin plus.
Yeah, see, we don't have any of those markers that I'm aware of in our family. Like most of the people that have passed away in our families have been heart attacks or cancer or whatever. Yeah. And I have brain farts all the time.
Good. Makes me feel better.
Totally normal.
Well, if there's one thing I've never thought about you, Kevin, is that I hope his heart doesn't explode from screaming and rage.
Yeah.
Or you've never thought about him. Boy, he seems out of it today. You never think that about Kevin.
That's true.
Speaking of brain farts, you have the fly swatting yips.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get some coaching on this from my coach here. I have some flies in the house. I don't know what happened. I think something got in the drain, and then we left for a week and came back.
Those spiders should take care of them.
I've been leaving the spiders alone because I know they're eating good. So we've got a couple of them. We've got it under control, but I'm trying to hasten it along. I bought a couple of fly swatters, and I just cannot seem to hit these damn things. I will see them on like a door frame, like a wall or whatever. And I'll get my swatter, and I'm lined up, and I whack, and I just miss. I just miss completely. Not even close. I'm wondering if Coach can help me at all.
All right, so if we treat this like a sport, first thing I would ask is, are your eyes good?
I thought.
Keep your eye on the fly.
Are you seeing correctly?
Yeah, I was thinking I was until I'm swinging at these things a foot away from me and missing entirely.
How do you swing? Are you a dick, or are you a sweep?
It's more of a sweep, right? I'll do a longer wind up because they're real light.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they're seeing you coming.
Well, I'm also these are they were like 2 swatters for a nickel. So I'm swinging these things, and this like incredibly flimsy wire that's holding it is like bending as I'm swinging it as hard as I can.
You're probably swinging it too hard. So we got eyesight, we got technique, maybe a shorter, it's a little instead of a wind up.
You're the Nolan Arenado of swinging.
You got to shorten your swing a little bit. And the other thing could be that as you're doing your big swinging motion, you're like moving your head, and that means your eyes are moving, and that's why you're missing.
Does that happen with baseball swings?
Yes, all the time.
Interesting. I mean, I'm definitely not trying to keep my head still.
So, get your eyes checked, shorten the swing, keep your head still.
Okay.
These flies have no chance.
And actually,
I didn't realize I was doing that much stuff.
I would do the eyes check last. Do the first 2 because they're simple. Keep your head still and shorten up that swing.
Yeah, I never thought about the head thing.
Yep.
Yeah, as a longtime fly swatter, try to get like 6 inches from the fly.
Yes.
Which a lot of times you can because they're stupid.
Yeah.
And then just bip.
Yep.
It is, knowing how stupid they are, because I agree, they're very stupid. It is such a bad feeling when I line up one of these SOBs right in my sights and then take a big, good swing at it, and I just don't hit it.
What's weird about it, having grown up, I know you don't have to live in South Roxana to have flies, but like we just had them constantly. And when they age, when it starts getting towards fall, they're so slow.
Oh, you can catch them with your hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can punch them right in the friggin' face.
Yeah.
Ooh, when you swat one with your hand and like knock it into the wall or whatever. Ooh, that's a good feeling.
Do that to bees.
Satisfying.
FBs.
Yeah.
Amy says I need one of the ones that looks like a tennis racket and shocks them. I love those. I can't find them anywhere.
I've never seen one of those.
Oh yeah,
they're
they're little bug zappers, and they look like a tennis racket with like mesh wiring like a tennis
The
racket, and
problem
you
is
swing them and they'll.
you're going to smack the wall when you do that, though.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
I would just like to say you guys are awesome. I've just been turned on to this since it's been on 104.1 at the FM dial, and I think you guys make me laugh, and you're informative. I just love you guys' show. You guys are amazing.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays at 9 on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Are you struggling to cope with natural disasters, mass violence, COVID, or other emergencies? You are not alone. Call or text the Disaster Distress Helpline at 1-800-985-5990 to connect with a trained counselor 24/7 across the United States. The Disaster Distress Helpline at 1-800-985-5990. Visit samhsa.gov/DDH for more resources. That's samhsa.gov/DDH.
Dr. Corey Soman, orthopedic surgeon, Midwest Orthopedic and Spine Specialist. He is one of the finest surgeons in the country. If you don't believe just me, just Google him. It's Dr. Corey Soman, Solman. On the WebMDs and the Rate Your Doc and all those sorts of websites, you'll see that he has virtually perfect scores because he is not only a fantastic surgeon, he has the knowledge, he has the experience, he has the physical dexterity. He is cutting edge, no pun intended, on all of the most recent. He has an anterior approach to like hip replacements where it's a smaller incision, it's less blood loss, it's less time on the table, which means less rehab for you, less time being down. And he's a really nice guy, very interesting, very funny, just a good, affable, charming human being who's going to make you, your kids, and your elderly loved ones feel comfortable with whatever procedure needs to happen. So you have an injury, you have something chronic, 636-231-5881 or SolmanOrthopedics.com.
We take you now to Dave Murray's forecast, sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
A summer feel, all thanks to the high humidity direct from the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, I guess we have to call it now. A mix of clouds and sunshine, a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but it's not an all-day rain by any means. In fact, a lot of dry time, 84. Tonight, plenty of clouds, couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower, 68. On Tuesday, partly sunny skies, spot shower or thunder shower. Lots and lots of dry time on Tuesday, but up to 92 for the high. If we hit 90 plus, that will be the first time we'd have done it this year. And that would be the best chance on Tuesday. Best chance of strong to severe weather will be on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds River's Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
Taco to go, taco to, and a big Q. Taco to go, taco to go. Quick Trip Taco just $2.99. Comes with a big Q, this deal so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose for $2.99. You really can't lose. Taco to go, taco to. This deal's legit. Taco to go, taco. Only at Quick Trip. Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go. $2.99.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your time outdoors. At Rottler Pest Solutions, our mosquito control services are designed to dramatically reduce mosquito activity so you can enjoy your yard in peace. Take back your yard. Visit Rottler.com today to learn more and schedule your free inspection.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person. And Your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com, and when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marmol joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our segment with Bernie is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Dicon comfort dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. Hope all you dads had a great Father's Day yesterday. Bernie Michaelis joins us. Hello, Bern.
Good Monday to you, Dave Glover. How's everything?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. So I always, I don't know if it shows, but I really do work at it and try to have something smart to say when Bernie's on. I have something smart to say, but in fairness, it came from Kevin Wheeler earlier today. So I'm
well,
gonna
wait. Hold on
yes,
now.
let Bernie judge
I don't know.
that.
I don't know if that's real smart. Okay, so I'll just say that right now.
It could be fool's gold.
It might be.
So rather than trying to start out with something smart, I'm just going to ask the obvious question. Rough weekend. Take me through it, you and Wheels.
Well, there's really no part of their team that's working well right now. Starting pitching's going south. The offense is really, really quiet. The bullpen's not bad, but Ryan Helsley isn't good. The defense isn't as sharp as it was. The situational hitting has been kind of erratic, not very good. In fact, they were 2 for 19 with runners in scoring position in Milwaukee in the games that they lost. So the team's kind of a mess now. Now, granted, they lost a lot of one-run games, but they were winning those games when things were working well. And when you pitch, and you pitch, you can overcome a quiet offense and you can overcome some other things. But when it starts with your starting pitching, and then when that breaks down, you're going to have some problems. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Speaking of the offense, and we'll have more time. We'll talk about this afternoon. We got the Redbird Rush Hour. It'll be me and Bernie and Matt. But this is kind of like a teaser and a thought that I'm working on in the meantime. Like, it feels like the offense is like an unsolvable Rubik's Cube. Like, there's just something missing, and I think some of it may be just too many guys that play too many of the same positions, and they impose their own restrictions on themselves. Like, well, we don't want this guy to do this, and we don't want this guy to do that. And it really makes it tough to put your best lineup on the field or to get guys off the field that are struggling.
I totally agree with that, Wheels. Seriously, you and I give each other a hard time sometimes, but that's really smart what you just said there. So
way to go, Wheels. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, yes. You're right about that. I mean, Ollie Marmol is just kind of a tormented guy, and from the standpoint, you're so right. I think that's such a great point where you can't just plug your guys in and play. There's got to be like 10 different decisions to go into every decision. You got to make all these qualifiers, and you got all these considerations you got to kind of ponder before you make a lineup change, and it just gets kind of what's the word? The fluidity is just isn't there. Yeah. The rhythm's not there. It's always a lot of hemming and hawing.
Yeah, and I guess the way that I would put it is, I think they box themselves in with philosophy, right? Like, we know that defense is a priority, and that's totally fine as a base approach, but when I watch the smartest teams that win a lot, even without big talent, When you watch what Milwaukee's done in recent years, you watch what Tampa Bay's does. Watch Detroit. Watch how they use every guy on their roster and how A.J. Hinch sets up lineups, not just based on who the starter is for that team, but on what they expect the bullpen matchups to look like later in the game will be. Is there are teams that are playing it where the lineup today is just about what we need today. So if we're in a period of time we're not scoring a lot of runs, we're going to go with our offensive lineup. So maybe that means Herrera behind the plate, which opens up DH for Nolan Gorman, who's been hitting this month. And I know that defense is a core value for the Cardinals, and I am a fan of that. But you cannot always stick to core values. You do have to adapt to what your team needs at a given time.
Well, that's right. And listen, they do need to prioritize defense to an extent because without a good defense, your pitch to contact pitching staff with a little strikeout punch is going to be very, very vulnerable. And we've seen signs of that because like the batted balls in play is really getting through in recent weeks and things like that. But at a time like this, let me give you this. Like in the last 16 games, the Cardinals are 5-11, and that represents how they just sort of crashed after that streak. Well, in the last 16 games, they've scored 3 runs or fewer 9 times out of 16, and they've scored 2 runs or less in half of their games. So, to your point, my friend, when the offense is just shooting blanks like this, you got to do what you can to maybe maximize your possibility of offense. Now, I will say this, but one of the problems is they have guys, going back to May 30th, or if we just want to focus on June, they have like 6 of their regulars that are below average offensively. And I'm not talking about batting average. I'm talking about the weighted runs created plus metric. And they're like 6 of your regulars are below average. What's going to do with that? I mean, you're kind of leaning on those guys, and they're not coming through. Where do you if you're Ali Marmol, where do you turn?
To piggyback on Wheel's excellent point, coming from a fan, not a pundit, which is my seat in the bleachers. I don't know whether the chicken or the egg, but when the Cardinals were winning, there was fun and joy. And it was almost like, I remember saying to you, Bert, it's like watching a high school team play, the way they're into it. I don't know whether they lost that when they started losing or if they started losing because they lost that. But it does feel like they're doing mergers and acquisitions every day as opposed to putting a lineup on the field.
Well, I think you have to kind of lay it out the way the games are going. And I'm not saying every game's the same, but there's a pattern here. Your starting pitchers give up some runs early, you're down. You have some real key lineup people that, aren't igniting. They're not triggering any offense.
Yeah.
So, so you're about halfway through the game, and a lot of these games start out the same way. You're in a hole and you're not hitting. And so the frustration builds, you're maybe a little demoralized. Hey, listen, they still have a great spirit and all that, but other than the Dodgers, those 2 wins they gave against the 2 wins against the Dodgers they got, they're 2-10 this month. So I don't know. I don't see many frisky teams when you're getting your heads beat and losing 10 out of 12 games. I mean, I think it takes its toll. I really do.
Yeah. I also think you always look like you lack energy when you don't hit because nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. So when you look at the guys that provide energy on this team, it's Mason Wynn not hitting this month. It's Victor Scott not hitting this month. It's Lars Nootbaar not hitting this month, right? So it's hard and now Contreras, I think, brings some good energy, and I thought I thought he was great this weekend handling all that nonsense with the hit by pitch and all that. And he's hitting. He's killing it. He's having a great month. But it's one guy that is a combination of an energy guy and an enthusiasm guy and also producing.
Yeah, and you have Donovan. He's down this month.
Yep.
Like his offense is down. Herrera's got his moments, but he's, a little bit more inconsistent now. Walker was going well, and then he, gets injured. He comes back. I don't think he's looked particularly good. And it's kind of funny, though, Wheels, because if we look at this, and you and I and others have been saying, look, you got to play Gorman. You got to play Gorman. You got to play Gorman.
Yeah.
Here, let me be a numbers nerd and throw something at you. To the audience, to Rachel, Dave Glover, everybody. So among Cardinals that have 45 plate appearances since May the 26th, 45 plate appearances since May the 26th, Gorman leads the team in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, walk rate, and weighted runs created plus. He's 105% above the league average since May the 26th. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. In fact, he over that time in the National League among left-handed hitters, he's been like a top 5 hitter in the league among left-handed hitters. So yet, and this is why sometimes this season just drives me a little goofy, because today we were doing Will Leach and I were doing our Seeing Red podcast, and he read an email from someone was talking about like basically jumping all over Gorman for his defense, and it's like, and this sort of gets back to what you were saying, Wheels, at the top of this. Okay, is Gorman the best second baseman? No. Is he brutal? No. He wasn't very good in Milwaukee. He had some problems.
Yeah.
But he's here to hit, and the guy has been your best hitter since May the 26th, and he's doing a great job of turning his season around. So what? Now we're going to jump on his tail? He makes a couple errors? I mean, I just it just drives me crazy.
Well,
sometimes.
and he's been around league average defensively this year. Like when he's played, he's been around league average. He was not that last year. In 2023, he was near it. Like,
well, I think he's actually slipped a little below average, but not much.
Yeah, and this is the thing is, but at the point, this is why we get into this question about, well, you're going to have to compromise on something, because they don't. Right now, the manager is saying they don't want Donovan in the outfield, in part because of the toe that's been bothering him. Well, then that means the only place is to either play him at third and sit Arenado more, which could easily be a choice, but they're clearly not willing to do it. Or you have to catch Herrera so that Gorman can DH. They're very limited in how they can move it. And then on top of all that, you've got Sajaci at AAA and Weatherholt, who should be at AAA, who's destroying AA, who are in those same positions. Second base, third base, DH, maybe left field. So you have a traffic jam now. You can't get everybody in unless you're going to break some of your own self-imposed rules. And we could argue Sajaci should be here now, and Weatherholt's going to be in that position very soon. So they got a lot of work to do to like make this all make sense.
Jose Barrero, and I think we all agree that Mason Wynn could use some rest, right?
Yes.
He's one of those guys. He plays hard and he wears himself out.
Yes.
So Barrero started a game yesterday at shortstop for the first time since the 5th of May.
Wow.
So what, like, I'm going to keep asking this over and over again. What exactly is his purpose here? To where he's here and Thomas Sajaci's not here.
He's the break glass in case of emergency guy, right?
And you could have some playing time for him if you kind of want to dig in and get it done. You could do it, but the Cardinals are, to your point about being boxed in. No manager, including Tony La Russa, seriously, is going to go to Nolan Arenado and say, we're going to have to just cut back. We think you need rest. We're going to sit you a couple times a week. There's no one that's going to say that.
Right.
And then, I understand why Ollie Marmol thinks the world of Mason Wynn. We all do.
Yeah, he's great.
But here's a guy that, again, he starts grinding, and then things just start to become a little loose with him. He's frustrated at the plate. That's a guy that if you had a legitimate backup shortstop, you would give him more breathers, right? If you had backups you could believe in, you wouldn't have to send Brendan Donovan out there playing on a bad foot, stuff like that. But they're boxed in because it seems like Ollie is locked in on just limited choices that he's willing to make.
Yeah. It's one of the best baseball discussions I've ever heard. This is really good.
And it's fixable. Like there are adjustments you can make. And I know that I hate this because I repeat myself, but it's been kind of like my biggest beef with the organization as a whole for the last 2 or 3 years is just either a lack of willingness or ability to adapt to present circumstances when it comes to player development, pitcher usage, position player usage, trading from excess to fill areas of need. Like they need more right-handed power, and they don't have it available. And if they do, it's like Sajaci, but they don't want to play him part-time, which I totally understand. But as we've noted, Bern, there are at-bats there, and we can't even get Gorman in live. There are at-bats there, but you have to create those.
No doubt. And, the one thing, and I don't want to jump too far ahead because I've avoided, trade deadline talk about what they should do because there's so much baseball. And even now, They got 25 games before the All-Star break and then another 13 after the All-Star break until the trade deadline. But, unless they get something going, the worst thing the Cardinals can do is talk themselves, and I'm talking about John Mozeliak and Ollie Marmol, but really the people that make the major decisions. Worst thing they can do is talk themselves into thinking they're a contender when maybe mathematically they are, but realistically they're not. And I don't know who they would move. I think I still think it's frankly a very underwritten, underreported story about Ryan Helsley, just how much he has fallen off. And no, I'm not Chicken Little. You know me. I do numbers. His four-seam fastball, they are absolutely killing it this year. They're hitting over 400 with like this massive slugging percentage, and right-handed batters just crush that pitch over and over and over again. And for some reason, there just seems to be out there this whole thing, oh, he'll be all right. I don't think he is all right. So my point being is that other teams are looking at this. They're seeing routine, ordinary hitters crush his four-seam fastball. So, and he'll be a free agent after the season. So what are they going to offer for him? I mean, they're going to offer something, but you're not going to make some big kill in the trading deadline for Ryan Helsley, not with the way he's pitching.
First of all, I've been doing some math, and Bernie, it turns out I'm the only St. Louis media person you're not doing a podcast with. And secondly, can we hear about Saliga?
You got it. I'll give you my podcast schedule if you want. Anyway, I'm only kidding. I'm always proud to talk about Saliga Heating and Cooling here on the Dave Clover Show. They've been taking care of the Mickleses for 16, 17 years. And of course they have, because they've been taking care of St. Louis since 1927. But the Miklas family can tell you a lot about this Daikin Comfort Dealer, because the things we appreciate about them, it's a long list, but I'll give you the partial list, man. They set the standard for honesty and for knowledge and for professionalism and prompt service, and they're classy to deal with. They're classy in your home. When they knock on the door at Saliga, you open the door and you're, oh, good to see you, because they're there to do a job and do it right and to treat you with 100% respect. And with that comes this. Sometimes you got to make a decision about, they give you a couple different options. Well, we could this or we could do that. I love the fact that they give us options, because they're not trying to sell us something. They're not trying to talk us into the biggest thing financially. If the Liga goes out of their way, in our experience, and obviously with a lot of St. Louis families, their experience, they go out of their way to look for less costly solutions when at all possible. So you can look them in the eye and know that this is a person I can trust. And man, that's hard to find today. So as you can tell, we're a big Saliga Heating and Cooling family here, big fans here in the Miklas home. So one other thing to talk about, Rick, look into the Priority Club. It's a maintenance plan. It's going to save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. You'll get priority scheduling. You'll have the comfort, the peace, and knowing you're safe. Everything's working for all 4 seasons. To find out more about all their services, and especially that Priority Club, go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. That's SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
On the Chris and Amy Show, we're launching 100 Acts of Kindness because apparently honking less in traffic doesn't count as charity.
We're teaming up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to prove kindness doesn't have to cost a dime.
Hold the door, say thank you, help your neighbor take out their trash without throwing yours in first.
No grand gesture required, just small, simple acts of human decency. We believe in you.
Join us and share your stories with hashtag 100KindActs.
Kindness, it's like a group hug without the awkwardness.
This is Megan Lynch. 250 doctors go to Ophthalmology Associates. That's why I trust them. Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Hey, it's Matt, your Leaf Filter Trusted Pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday to everybody. It's going to get no kidding around hot this week.
Really? I know. Ugh.
Sunday, I have been invited to practice with the 43 and up baseball team.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be 95 degrees, 60 years of age, plus 95 degrees, plus first time playing baseball.
Bring some water.
Hydrate.
I don't know.
With sunscreen and water.
Hydrate.
I told Kurt about your baseball thing. I guess we forgot to talk about this on Friday night. I don't know if you brought it up, but I was telling him that you're going to play baseball, and he was like, "Oh, what's the cutoff?" Like he wanted to play too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we could maybe sneak you in.
Man, you're not kidding. Lots of 90s later in the week.
Yeah.
Dave,
a little gruesome.
Lots of water,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then the full blown like leaded Gatorade. Like get the real thing
with the sugar.
Yes. Yeah. No, you have to. It won't. It doesn't work if you don't. For hydration. I mean, I drink the zero stuff for just giggles, but like when I'm out in the hot, I'm drinking the full leaded version.
Or get you some liquid IV and mix that in with your water. That's good
Or
stuff.
I could not play.
You could do that.
Could
I mean,
not
that's
play.
I was going to say, Dave's saying in a way that
That's a
suggests that he
strategy.
will not be doing that.
Dave's like, I can, or just go with me on this. I could stay home.
You know what I do want, though? I want to be involved in a baseball fight. It is the best form of fighting.
Clearing the benches?
Because you have, at tops, 3 seconds to throw punches. No one just goes toe-to-toe like John Wayne in The Quiet Man.
Very rarely.
You throw a couple haymakers, and everyone jumps on you, and then you have beers.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor and Pella Window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?"
The next line says, send it in. Really? Not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees? Or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX. Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky. Right now, 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. The suspect charged with murder in the fatal shootings of a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband had his first court appearance in Minneapolis. CBS's Stacey Lynn has that.
During the brief court appearance, 57-year-old Vance Belter did not enter a plea. The judge appointed a federal public defender as his representation after the suspect said he couldn't afford his own lawyer. His next hearing is scheduled for June 27th.
A twister hit North St. Louis, killing 5 people and injuring dozens 1 month ago today.
Can you see my light?
The St. Louis City Police Department released body cam footage today from May 16th showing officers responding to people trapped in their homes, then rushing to the hospital.
522, show me en route to Barnes transporting an elderly woman with oxygen issues. I'll be headed to Barnes now.
In the video, Chief Robert Tracy says the department will remain steadfast in its response.
Today we're still here. We're not going anywhere. This isn't just where we work. This is our home too.
Missouri's governor begins his first international trade mission today.
Governor Mike Kehoe says his mission is to strengthen existing business relationships and also attract new investment by promoting Missouri's capacity for partnership and trade. The Republican will meet with French government officials, diplomats, and business leaders. They include representatives from companies with Missouri operations like Boeing. They'll also attend the Paris Air Show. France is an important trade partner for Missouri, ranking as the 13th largest export destination. Scott J. Jay Gal, KMOX News.
Seeing a show this summer?
Concert goers, you're getting a bit of a break this summer. Prices for tickets have dropped by the most in more than a decade. Pollstar data indicate the average price to attend one of the world's top 100 tours is down 6% from last year to $120. That's still about 70% higher than in 2010. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
Duracell is suing St. Louis County-based Energizer, saying they made false claims about how long the batteries really last. The federal case filed against Energizer on Friday. Here's a clip from the new ad.
Energizer Max outlasts Duracell Power Boost by 10%. No fluff.
The voiceover there says Energizer Max batteries outlast Duracell Power Boost batteries by 10%, but Duracell says they only tested regular AA batteries, and the ad is confusing and misleading. The KMOX Business Desk, if you sent your DNA to 23andMe, the genetic testing company was sold Friday to a co-owner's nonprofit. The runner-up was a pharmaceutical company. 23andMe in March filed for bankruptcy in a St. Louis court, so that's where the sale was finalized. A Washington University law professor was the court-appointed monitor of customers' information, and privacy is what's concerning to U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, who questioned the current CEO last week.
I tell you what, it's amazing to me you're not getting your socks sewed off by your customers. I hope they will. I hope they will rush to the courthouse, even as we are here today, to sue you into oblivion for lying to them.
23andMe in a statement says the co-founder and Wojcicki's nonprofit promises to comply with privacy policies and laws. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now with Stifel's Scott Bedell. Scott?
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. A rebound from Friday's war-induced sell-off taking place in today's trading, with most indexes posting gains. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finishing higher by 317 points, or 0.75% to 42,515. The Standard & Poor's 500 index gained just a little bit less than 1% at 6,033, while the NASDAQ Composite Index bounced 1.5% to 19,701. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index had a decent day, up just a little less than 1% at 1,551. Checking on some stocks of local interest, Emerson Electric gained 2.5% at $128.68. Stifel Financial added 2% at $97.45. Caleres jumped just a little less than 10%. They finish at $13.53. On the downside, Centene dropped 1% at $54.68. Charter Communication fell 3.5%. They closed at $375.23. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a crash right now on 70 going east just past Bermuda. That's got the right shoulder closed and also the exit ramp there as well around Riverview. We've got emergency vehicles at 6440 east at 270. That's got the right lane closed there. Stall 270 south at Manchester Road. That's got the right shoulder closed there. And a stall 44 east at Antire. That's also on the right shoulder.
No question about it. Tons of humidity, and that's going to be the main factor all through Tuesday and into Wednesday. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we go through the afternoon. Couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but also a lot of rain. Free time, 84 for the high. Tonight, plenty of clouds, couple of scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower, 68. Tuesday, partly sunny, a spot shower or thunder shower. A lot of dry time on Tuesday, 92. If we hit 90 plus, that will be the first time we've done it so far this year. It's been a long stretch of no 90 plus. Then Tuesday night, showers and thunderstorms around mainly late night, 74. And Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday offering the best chance of at least some strong to severe weather. Again, that would be on Wednesday and 88 degrees. The summer season officially begins June 20th at 9:42 in the evening, so the 21st. The first full day of summer. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And at the moment, we've got clouds. It is 81 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box.
Get so munch more with the new T-Pain Munchie Meal at Jack in the Box, including your choice of burger or chicken tater melt, plus curly fries, a taco, drink, and new stuffed cookie. Auto-tune not included.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. Usually about once a week, we like to have one of my clients on just to give them a little shout out, especially when they have something interesting to talk about. And today we welcome Neil Gelman from the Gelman team. Hello, Neil.
How are you, buddy?
Good, pal. How's Father's Day?
That was great. How about you?
Very nice. Can't complain at all. We're lucky men.
Excellent. Excellent. We are. We're blessed.
So let's talk a little real estate. As an outsider, as someone who is not in any way, shape, or form a real estate expert, it just feels kind of weird. Like, I don't know whether it's a buyer's market, a seller's market, white hot, ice cold. I just don't know.
So if you read the national news, you're seeing a lot of significant changes. Colorado, Florida, Texas, Arizona, you're seeing a significant softening. Prices are going down, inventory is going up, houses are sitting. What you're seeing on our level is you are seeing very much consistency. You're not seeing the big swings up and down. You know, you're looking at pricing, so if you look at 2024, 20 to 24 price increases, St. Louis County, it's up around 10%. St. Charles County, up about 5%. The city's actually struggling a little bit, only up 2.6. Jefferson County actually is up 13%. When you look at unit sales, though, unit sales are down in St. Louis. They're up in St. Charles a little bit. But for the most part, what we're seeing is a very consistent market relative to what's going on nationally. Interest rates are sitting around 7%. And really don't seem to have an impact on the market just because of the weakness in inventory.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So for people out there listening to the show right now, and they've had a couple conversations with their spouse about it, maybe we should take advantage of this, maybe we should do that. What are the questions that they should be asking themselves?
Well, do I want to move? And if I want to move, don't wait. And when I say don't wait, don't let interest rates affect your ability to move. There are good properties out there right now that are sitting on the market that you can take a swing at and potentially get a discount and buy. On the other hand, if you overpay a little bit and you get the property that you want and you're there for the long term, it's okay. If interest rates do come down, you always have the ability to refinance. If you're a seller, on the other hand, that's out there, there's an opportunity. There's still a significant weakness in inventory. And if you talk to the right agent who helps you, the most important thing, Dave, is to prepare your house properly for sale, target price it, meaning don't overprice it, price it to where every agent can run comps and say this house is a good value. And then, of course, you need the broadest marketing reach you can possibly get.
You know what's interesting about your business, and I'm sitting here thinking about this as you're speaking, having sold a couple of homes and done a couple of transactions with you guys, it's such an interesting field because on one hand, it's so factual and empirical, and what did the inspection say, and what's the radon reading, and yet it's so emotional.
It is, and it's interesting you bring that up because one of the things that I always say in my listing presentations or a buyer consultation is when you're buying or selling, you have to take the emotion out of it. You have to treat it like a business transaction because, as you and I know, if you make an emotional decision, there's a much higher probability that will be a bad decision.
Interesting. Or that you'll regret it because you made it emotionally. Yeah.
Right. And I tell people, you can buy a car, you can buy an expensive piece of jewelry, and if you're not happy with it, you can sell it the next week, and maybe you lose $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. You cannot make a bad buying decision when it comes to real estate. You need to make sure that you're all in and that you have no buyer's remorse, because that's the worst feeling possible in this market.
So, Neil, you guys, we have a long-running relationship and friendship. We've raised a lot of money together for people.
Absolutely.
And you guys, pay me well to tell everyone that you guys are the best. Let me ask you to tell us why you guys are the best. Why are you preferable over someone's brother-in-law who plays golf with a guy who sells houses?
Sure. No, and I appreciate you saying that. I've always found it interesting, Dave, that people list with friends, family, and people from their church or synagogue who have very little business when this is your largest asset. We treat this like a true business. My brother and I have run this like a true business for years. My brother's a CPA. I've been in marketing and finance for years. We have the broadest reach from a marketing standpoint. We've sold over 55 homes. We have over 1,300 five-star Google and Zillow reviews. And it's because of the marketing that we're doing. In a market where there's very, very low inventory, Dave, people have taken back their spend on their marketing. We have actually, since COVID, increased the amount of money that we are spending on our marketing, on our advertising, in order to ensure that our clients get the absolute best exposure. And on the luxury side, our broker is the only broker that's part of an international MLS. It's going to put you in major publications like the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Robb Report, Upmarket, and even the Zillow of China. We don't know where your buyer's coming from, and we want to give you the broadest exposure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your friendship and your continued trust in me.
Same here.
Yeah, if you guys want to find out what you think, what the Gelman team thinks your house is worth right now, you can do it without talking to Naria Gelman. Just go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com. When you're ready to talk, 314-336-1991. Neil, all my best to the whole team.
Same to you, my friend. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too. Wheels, I understand you had a chaotic morning.
Well, in part because some of your friends are there.
Oh.
Yeah, Michael's Flooring is at the house. So we got some work going on. So we're doing like main level stuff, couple of bathrooms in the kitchen area and all that stuff.
You missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
You should have also had Michael's baths come in so that you could go
both.
Michael's
and Michael's.
Michael.
But like the chaos is just because of the when work's being done at your house, you're
second fiddle.
You are no longer the owner of the house. You're just a resident, and then you gain ownership back when they're done, right? Because that stuff's got to get done. But you have to get up early today. Got to get the dogs in the basement because the dogs are going to be trying to get in the middle of everything and barking at everybody. And it's just funny how like you knew it was coming, but then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, I'm not ready. Like yesterday, we had to move everything off of the surfaces that are going to be moved, all the big things, right? Had to move the piano and do all this other stuff because they do some things, but not that, of course. If I were them, I wouldn't do that either. It's just amazing how much it changes you. And then I'm like, I get up at 7:30, which you guys should know for me is just, that's the crack of dawn for Kevin Wheeler. And I had decided I'm going to do that, take the dogs out, get them their food, get down in the basement, and then I was just going to go back to sleep. And it did. While all the floors were being torn off literally feet above my head. And then I woke up with the alarm, and my wife was down there, and she's like, how did you sleep through that? I'm like, it's my superpower. But you were like that day. What were you having done where it was like was it painting you haven't done? And just like it just changes everything. You just like feel like you want to get out of your own house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
It was 6 months ago, and my house is still not the same.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, in another day or so, it'll all be done and look awesome. But the 2 days, I don't know what it is. Like I don't usually think too much about routine, but today I was like, oh man, now I'm all messed up. got to figure all this stuff out in advance and move all my stuff down into the basement the night before and do all that kind of stuff. And
Are you guys taking before and after pictures of the floor?
Baby, I don't know.
You should ask Susan because I would like to see. I'm excited for you guys.
I mean,
this is just a tiny baby.
there will definitely be after photos taken. I'm sure there are some befores. She probably did that yesterday. I can't imagine she wouldn't have.
I'm sorry. Did you say which rooms you were getting it done in?
So all the kitchen, and then like the entryway to the house because those
What
are all
rooms
the
are
same.
in the house? Let's start there.
Yeah, just all of the kitchen, the entryway to the house, and then there's a hallway, and those are all connected in the same, and then two bathrooms, two separate bathrooms.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna look good.
Good for you.
Then we'll have you guys over.
Okay. A couple years ago, a Michael's Flooring customer posted on the DGS Facebook page. They were like surprising their mom with the renovation. She was like out of town for a couple days and they were able to get it done. And her reaction when she walked into that house, like I still smile when I think about it. That was so sweet.
That's really cute.
But their crew's great, by the way. They were awesome. Even just the first day, everything's smooth and easy and going fast.
Oh, I'm mad about something. Can I get it off my chest?
Let's I like you're mad.
I don't know what company it is, but it's the one it's an insurance company with the red roof that protects you. The Property Brothers do ads for them.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter because they're all the damn same. But there's an ad now with the Property Brothers where it's like, I'm Prepared Pete and I'm Foreknowledge Frida. And then a tree falls and it's going to land on their house, but it lands on the made-up red roof. And he's Relieved Ralph. And I'm like, that's crap. Everything about this ad is crap. You should be in jail because the tree didn't fall on the pretend red roof. It fell on Ralph's real roof, and then it rained inside. And then you guys denied the claim for all the stuff that got rained on because you're all a-holes, every one of you. And I've worked in the insurance industry as a lawyer, and you have one job. That is to not pay the claims. That is the one job that every lawyer, every adjuster has. Everyone's job is to keep as much money as possible, and you do that by not paying Relieved Ralph. Take that, Property Brothers, with your big, fat, hairless faces.
Oh, that's great.
It's so true. Tell him, Dave.
I mean, I get advertising. I'm about to do one now. But how about you not lie through your teeth in such a way that you make me feel stupid because I'm watching your stupid lying commercial? Send this to the Property Brothers.
I will. I will be getting a hold of both of those brothers.
Just the one with the beard. I don't even think about the other one. Just talking about Michael's Flooring and how Wheels should have had Michael's Baths out there. Michael's Baths is just such a great opportunity for people out there who've been wanting to do a bathroom remodel, whether it's a new tub or a new shower or a whole new bathroom. And you've had some quotes from Bath Fitter and 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, and they're just a little too much, just a few $1,000s more than you are comfortable spending in this weird tariff economy right now. Well, Michael's got good news for you. He comes in 30 to 50% less than these other companies. He's also offering, for a temporary time, $500 off any shower or tub replacement, $1,000 off a full bathroom remodel. That's on top of your stated 30 to 50% savings. All he does is bathrooms. It is a locally owned, family-owned company. People from the DGS, they've only been with me for a few months, have had great success with them. If you're a disabled veteran, you get this bathroom with no money out of your pocket because it's a VA benefit that you have earned through your service. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
Hi, everybody. It's Brian Green from the Commercial Break Podcast. It's likely you've heard of the show if you're directly related to me or you follow our MySpace page. But I'm not here to talk to those three listeners. I'm here to appeal to people who haven't heard the show. Along with my co-host, Kristen Joy Hoadley, we're taking a deeper look at the topics that are affecting our youth today. Like, who are the people who are dating ghosts? Where did all these pickup artists come from? And why doesn't my preacher have a nicer private jet? We understand that these are the issues you really want to get to the bottom of. The Commercial Break is now available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Another RX Watch, brought to you by Onder Law.
Welcome back to RX Watch. This alert is disturbing.
Right. A while back, we learned that companies like Johnson & Johnson use a mineral called talc in baby powder and other products.
And studies show that talc, when used for feminine hygiene, can cause ovarian cancer.
Now listen to this. RX Watch has learned that the talc they use is being mined in China.
Right, and talc mined in China contains heavy metal contaminants like chromium and magnesium, which are known to cause cancer. But China doesn't care.
So China gets the jobs and we get contaminated talc in our baby powder.
And ovarian cancer.
Right. With their specialized tests, the medical team at Onder Law can help you know if your ovarian cancer was caused by talc.
Onder Law has helped women for years with free and confidential consultation. You need to call Onder Law's pharma attorneys at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
Call Onder Law at 1-800-RX-WATCH.
That's 1-800-RX-WATCH or go to rxwatch.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Bluetail Medical Group is a pioneer in regenerative orthopedics. As joints break down over time, we lose our mobility and a life without pain. Surgery is not the only option. Dr. Matt Bays, David Crane, and Chris Wolf can use your own body's healing power to regrow soft tissue. No surgery, no long recovery times, and no drug dependence. Patients walk out of the office and resume full activity in a few days. Reclaim your joint health by calling Bluetail Medical Group at 636-778-2900 or visit bluetailmedicalgroup.com.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back. 323 DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday. Very sunny out there. We're just talking about how it's going to get hot as balls later on in the week. So enjoy this while we got it. I just lost my place. Oh!
Is it about the Property Brothers?
No, I'm through with them. I've got my poison out.
There you go.
No,
Feels good, doesn't it?
I was going to ask Rach, do you know how old I am? I'm so old that I remember when television used to stop.
Yeah. I do too.
The one image would come up. I feel like they were
would play
still
the Star
doing
Spangled
that.
Banner.
Star Spangled Banner.
and then the
just
bars came on.
Out.
Right?
I feel like they were
That's
still
terrifying.
doing that like in the early 2000s on
Were
a
they
couple of
really?
networks in town. Yeah, because I have a memory of that, but I don't know if maybe it's just me seeing it in a movie or something.
Yeah.
But I thought they shut some of this stuff down at night.
I mean, I'm just one lifetime. And in one guy's lifetime, we've gone from at midnight, the television shuts off to endless choices of entertainment.
That's a terrifying thought. The TV just turning off.
Yeah, I need
It
TV.
is.
Yeah,
and you only
they're just
had-
not being TV when you need it, and
I mean,
you
we
can't
had
sleep
5
or whatever.
channels.
Yeah.
You had 5, you had the 3 networks because there was no Fox network at the time.
Right.
3 networks and maybe a couple of UHF channels.
Here we had 2, 4, 5, 11, 39, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
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 And somehow we were okay with it.
Well,
We were
didn't know-
all entertained.
We just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
We all watched a lot of crap. Although, to be honest, like the like your regular network shows were better because there was only so many of them, so only the good ones got made. Well,
Mhm.
that's not entirely true. Some of them sucked, but not all of
Cheers, for example.
them. Yeah, MASH. That's what I was thinking
which,
of
Of course, led into Frasier.
way back.
You know, Seinfeld.
You know what I suffer
and
from?
The rest. Yes.
With my ADHD, OCD, ADD, ABC.
PBS.
Task fatigue.
What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. Any task, that's not true. Many tasks are fatiguing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a couple of things that have been on my books for a couple of weeks now, and each thing is going to take about 10 minutes. and it's not going to ruin my day, but it's going to suck. And I just keep putting it off. And it's been terrible. And early on in my life, I knew I had it. I just didn't know what it was. I just thought I was lazy. And then it was like procrastinator. And I'm like, oh, that's me. And then you start learning about all these different things. And look, I get it. I get that it can be overdiagnosed and it can be like a crutch and like me can't accomplish things. Me have task fatigue. But like, I know how it feels. And people out there in the audience knows how that feels. Just like I told you, I was with a guy the other day and he goes, oh man, I need to call and make a doctor's appointment. And he turned his phone on and he called his doctor.
Right then.
And he made an appointment. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
You got a week before you have to make that phone call.
On some of those tasks that I think of as tedious, I'm the exact same way.
That's good to know.
It's all relative to what it really means to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
The thing is, the way I push myself to do like chores and stuff that I don't want to do is the knowledge that once I'm doing it, it's never as bad as I think it's going to be.
That's usually true.
Like doing laundry, for example, it's really not that bad. It's a little bit of like, you know, when it's time to fold the clothes, okay, this is going to take a second. But ultimately, I've got a pretty good life if that's on like the top of my list of worries.
No doubt.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This is National Cancer Survivor Awareness Month, and we are joined by Dr. Lindsay Peterson.
And the program at Siteman Cancer Center is always evolving to address the needs of all of our patients. And so we want to know, what patients need, what we can do for them, and we want to make sure that we're providing those different resources for them.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're headed into Illinois, just be advised, we have the situation with the roadwork going on eastbound 5570 at 157, and you're jammed back to 111 on eastbound 5570 right now because of it, and that's closed through the end of the month. Eastbound 270 just busy through 157. If you're on westbound Highway 70, it's a little slow at Riverview. Otherwise, it doesn't look that bad this afternoon. South 170 bogs down at Ladue. Westbound 64 Science Center to McCausland. It's a little slow between Spady and Ballas and 364 out to 70. South 270 is off the pace. South of Page to about Ladue. There's a little busy spot past 64 and around Manchester. Not that bad. Westbound Manchester, west of Weidman, most of the way to Baxter, looks kind of backed up. Congested from, I believe, an earlier incident. Southbound 55 Gasconade Bates. You've got delays, but it looks good down in Jefferson County. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Taco to go, taco to, and a big Q. Taco to go, taco to go. Quick Trip taco just $2.99. Comes with a big Q, this deal so fine. Brisket breakfast, so much to choose for $2.99. You really can't lose. Taco to go, taco to. This deal's legit. Taco to go, taco. Only at Quick Trip. Taco to go, taco to go, taco to go. $2.99 to go.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Every day at this time, we have Dave Murray on. He joins us now. Happy Father's Day, Dave.
Thank you. You guys too.
Yeah, did you have a good
All
one?
the dads out there. Yeah, I actually had a very nice one. Settled down, and I was happy to see the rain delay for the U.S. Open, and gave me a chance to do some stuff, and then settled back into that. Very exciting.
So I know you guys were saying Oakmont is one of the toughest courses. Didn't the guy who won play even or maybe -1 or something like that?
He was, -2, I think he ended up, because he made that big long birdie putt on 18.
That's something else.
What's amazing is that the guy who won shot a 40 on the front side. Basically shot himself out of it.
Yeah.
And then Sam Burns and Adam Scott, who were the leaders, were basically, they stunk up the place. When Burns shot a 78 and Adam shot a 79.
Wow.
So this guy came out of nowhere, shot a 32 on the backside. 40 on the front, 32 on the back.
The classic way to do it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It does make me laugh when people complain about the difficulty of a course. Like, it's fine to be difficult. Like, you're all playing the same course.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Who cares if it's not -18?
Yeah.
You know, if it's -1 and that wins, you won.
How is Belle Reve considered? Either of you guys know?
Nope.
Oh, that's a toughie. It is a tough course. They play the PGA there every once in a while. They play the BMW has played there for a little bit, but in my book, that's a very tough course. It's a long course. I'm not sure by the professional standards that it's that long anymore. I think they probably have to lengthen it a little bit to get a consistent tournament, but they know how to toughen it up.
Back in 2001. Someone was coming, PGA, seniors, someone was coming, and Belle Reve invited a bunch of media people to go play it. And so producer Tom and I went out and played, and I had no money, none, to my name, and I had about 8 smilers, as we called them, balls with cuts in them, and it's Bell Reeve, so they were gone on like the second hole.
Yeah.
And I had no money. I went in. I'm like, I need to get a dozen balls. They're like, sir, it's $89. I'm like, oh yeah. So I just
that was the PGA was coming.
So I just faked it. We just rode around and
did you like take swings at golf balls that didn't exist?
Hitting gumballs.
He's like
looking in the woods, looking for please let me find the
yes.
ball.
Look, there's a divot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dipping my hands into ponds and stuff and.
You could really fake it too, though. If somebody's not looking, you could go through the swing and then watch the fake ball. And
no, we were.
It's in the hole.
Yeah, we were.
Hole in one again.
That's how I got all my hole in ones, just like that.
So, Dave, big warm up this week?
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to get over 90. You had mentioned that how old you were, that you remember when TV stations signed off.
Yeah.
And that was a real problem when I first started at Channel 5 back in the 70s. It was like, how do we do? I mean, we were trying to really do severe weather right, like it had never been done before. But the whole was, what happens when we sign off? You don't have a studio. You don't have anything. You have a guy in master control. That's really about it. So we developed a plan where I could be at home, throw up the radar. Now, this was not in the early days. This was later on when radar became a little more dominant on television. And all I had to do was call master control and they could patch me right in. And I could be sitting on the floor in our house in Baldwin doing severe weather updates in my PJs at 3 in the morning.
And did that happen often?
It happened enough that it was worthwhile to do.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
One of the great things. But yeah, a little warmer tomorrow, I think. It's going to be will we hit 90 plus? I'm going to keep it 92. We've been kind of hanging at 92. It's going to be really close if we hit 90 for the first time. Not a lot in the way of rain or thunder shower activity overnight tonight. There is a batch across southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. That should stay away. Spotty showers tomorrow, spotty showers Tuesday night. Wednesday still looks like the unsettled day, partly to mostly cloudy, windy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could go severe. Strong to severe anyway, 88. The prime time is going to be any time on Wednesday up until about 9 o'clock Wednesday night. I don't think it's a widespread outbreak, but it's something we kind of have to pay attention to. It's really going to depend on how much sun breaks out during the day on Wednesday. We could have a little stuff in the morning Wednesday. I don't think that would be severe. If we get the sun to come out around midday, the afternoon could start to rock on us. But a lot of variables. It's really fuzzy. Then Thursday, it's all gone and 85, sunny and 85.
Okay. And then kind of a hot weekend if it stays the same?
It looks like, we could consistently be, if we don't hit 90 plus tomorrow, we will hit it most likely Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Okay. Dave, does the not hitting 90 until now does it bode for anything for the rest of the summer? Or is it just like, that's a weird May and June?
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird May and June. A lot of it has to do with how much rain we've had.
Mm-hmm.
So the ground's a little bit cooler, doesn't get a chance to really warm up the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But that has something to do with it anyway. And also, summer officially begins 9:42 on Friday night.
Okay. You know what I did today? And this is not going to bode well for my Alzheimer's, but I forgot how you breathe when you drink. I think you should leave where he's like, I don't know how you move. I was drinking my coffee and I was kind of breathing a little heavy for some reason. I don't know why. I was just sitting on a couch, but I was just like, do I breathe out? Do I breathe in? Do I breathe while I'm drinking? No, you'll.
You're not supposed to think about that. It's supposed to happen.
See,
Yeah.
Dave, you're absolutely right.
That's it.
You're absolutely right.
So what did you do?
Good.
I tried breathing in several different ways and then laughed at myself and just I went and did something else and came back and I could drink again. So
I'm not sure I'd admit that.
I just started to say. But that truly is the difference between me and others. I'm not smarter. I'm not more talented. I just say things that other people don't say.
But you don't breathe while you drink at all, right?
Hold on, let me try.
Like, I don't think I do.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Yeah, it's not great. Not great.
Dave's the only one brave enough to ask where that darn moon has gotten to.
That's right. How many people you think couldn't find the moon?
Lots.
There's only one in this world.
At least one.
Only one.
That was such a weird feeling. I am not kidding you. It went from like, this is going to be great for the show, to like, what if it's just gone?
TV behind you showing the OJ chase for some reason.
It's a 30 for 30.
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Ah, there you go.
Sorry, I
this
got
is a good
extremely
episode.
distracted
I think
by
this is also like the golf tournament was happening at the same time.
Could it have been the
Arnold
U.S. Open?
Palmer's like final. Am I right, Wheels?
I don't remember.
Okay, this was all happening on like the same day.
I was downstairs at Dooley's, which was a great burger bar, having a beer and a pub burger and watching this on TV. That's my story.
There was like a huge basketball game going on.
Yes, that's what I remember. Is
Yeah,
they put this up on the
playoffs.
screen during a playoff game, and people are watching the playoffs like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Headlines, Rach?
Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. And I do have to say that Dave Murray's Weather was sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Our first story for headlines, Reverend Jimmy Swaggart was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The 90-year-old suffered cardiac arrest and has not regained consciousness since the incident, which took place on Sunday morning. Paramedics were able to restore a heartbeat before rushing him to a nearby hospital for treatment, but he is still unconscious.
No comment.
Neither Democrats nor Republicans see the Supreme Court as politically neutral, according to a new NBC News poll. A majority of adults believe the Trump administration should obey federal court orders, 81% stating that the administration must stop illegal actions if ruled by a federal court. That seems like a big duh to me. Seems like it should be higher than 81%. But yeah, most Americans, or neither Dems nor the GOP, see the Supreme Court as politically neutral, which ideally it should be.
So what do the other 19% think?
I guess they just think.
Do they just
he
think
should
like,
do whatever he wants to do?
nah, he shouldn't stop if a court tells him to?
I was reading a really interesting article today about how Amy Coney Barrett is being recruited by Elena Kagan and Sotomayor by like inviting her to teas and buying a birthday gift for her 18-year-old daughter. And it's just like, oh my God, are we really like...
You mean so she'll vote more liberal or something?
Well, she has been voting more liberal. I think she's just more open-minded, frankly. But she's voting more liberal, and MAGA hates her, and they're calling her a DEI hire now, and the other people are being nice to her. So, you know.
I mean, I'm sure part of it is like, we're coworkers and I want to get her daughter a nice graduation gift or something like that. You know, not everything has to be like, they're recruiting her to the other side. Like, you can share a meal with someone and not have it be any more than that. But.
Could we just not know the politics of people that are on the highest court in the land? Would that be nice?
That would be great.
Like, could we just not know or care? Because all their job is to rule on the law. Their job isn't to make decisions based on politics or political views.
Mm-hmm.
Wheels and I were talking about this on the break. Your next phone could run on Trump Mobile. This is a new mobile service that aims to provide unique offerings for underserved customers. It's a new phone plan. It offers unlimited texting to 100 countries, roadside assistance, and telemedicine for a flat monthly fee. It starts at $47.45 per month. 47.45. Get it?
Oh.
I did not get it at first.
Did not get that.
Dang it.
The organization is...
Yes. It's the most obvious thing in the world. And I just was like, well, that's a weird number.
They're also rolling out a $499 gold-colored phone dubbed the T1. That'll come out later this year. And Eric Trump said the service's call center would be based right here in St. Louis.
How about that?
Cool. Will it be made here?
They are saying it would be made in the United States, but they're not saying exactly where.
So wait, it's a mobile service that also makes phones?
Yes.
Well, what they're doing is they're basically piggybacking off of other networks. It's not
Okay.
like they're creating a new phone network. They're going to
Sure.
use other phone companies' signals. But they do say that the gold phones are going to be produced here in the United States.
So I guess this is why I'm not rich, because if I were a billionaire, leader of the free world, president of the United States, I probably wouldn't need a phone company.
Well, this is being run by his sons, so I don't know how.
Oh, I'm sure there's a complete
directly-
wall there between them.
Not sure how directly involved he is, but I understand your point. Let's do one more story here before we go to break. Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch tonight after a 21-month break. He's been recuperating from elbow surgery, and people are quite excited.
And it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Dave was looking it up earlier. He was like, 9:30.
It's 9 o'clock, 9:10.
He's only going to pitch an inning. He's probably only going to do an inning.
No, he is. He's only going to go.
Yeah.
It would be, my understanding, would be 2 would be the most, and that's only if the first one's real fast.
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, this traffic report is a service of Siding Express. We have the closure for the rest of the month till June 30th, 5 a.m. Eastbound 5570 between 157 and 159. So you know eastbound traffic's going to be backing up at least every afternoon. Maybe not, but it's not as big a deal in the morning, obviously. But we're jammed right now. East of 111 up to 255. Eastbound 270. It's a little slow through 203 and a little slow at 157 as an alternate route in the area. Westbound McKinley Bridge backed up to the Illinois Bank. Westbound 70. Goodfellow out through Jennings Station, a little congested. We had a report of a minor incident there. A couple of slow spots. Southbound 170, Delmar down to Brentwood. Southbound 270, south of Page to Ladue. 64 through Manchester. After that, it's not so bad. Westbound 64, Science Center to McCausland, slow. Spady to Ballas is busy. And a couple of spots from 364 on out to Highway 70. Still seeing a jam on westbound Manchester from past Weidman now. It's almost backed up midway back to Mason. And that goes out to almost Baxter. Southbound 55, Gasconade through Bates is pretty congested right now as well. Just typical delays there, though. Transform your home with the beauty and durability of James Hardy Siding. At Siding Express, we specialize in James Hardy Siding installation. Visit sidingexpress.com today to schedule a free consultation. That's sidingexpress.com. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket wait list at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Cash for Clunkers is back. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards a new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old entry door too. It's Cash for Clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free, in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
The legends ride again. Willie Nelson and the Outlaw Music Festival is rolling back into St. Louis June 28th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Don't miss the living legends, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, along with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and more, live right here in St. Louis. This is country the way it was meant to be. Tickets are still available, so get them before they're gone. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Get ready, St. Louis. The Cubs are coming to town June 23rd through the 26th. The Cardinals host baseball's best rivalry at Busch Stadium in a series that always delivers. The Chicago STL rivalry is legendary, and the energy in the ballpark will be electric. It's the perfect way to spend a summer day or night at the ballpark with passionate fans and nonstop action. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Sonny Gray, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at Cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
Welcome back, DGS 352. So, Wheels, you were interested in the music selections for the military parade?
I'm just always amazed that people don't know what songs mean. You know, like I saw the clip of the parade in D.C., and they're playing Fortunate Son, which is an anti-war, anti-establishment protest song.
Very well known.
All about how rich people never have to serve in wars, but poor people do.
That's the name.
I mean, if you just look at the lyrics, it's like there is nothing patriotic about that song. Absolutely nothing. In fact, one of the lines is, "I ain't no millionaire's son." That song, I mean, again, this is not even knock. You could whatever you think of the president, you think of the president. But that song could have been written about the president and his growing up as a rich kid and him not serving during that time period when that song was written because of bone spurs. Like that was normal back then when it comes to people of influence and wealth. They got their kids out of the draft. The song's all about that, and you're playing it like it's some kind of patriotic, happy song that people should be celebrating. Like, that's not what that song is. Those songs exist, but it ain't that one, and it ain't Born in the USA. How does that subtlety? I don't even think it's that subtle. Like, Creedence was pretty much punch you in the face with the message there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Why do people not understand? Or if they do understand, why do they not care?
I love, recently, there have been a lot of people who are like, man, I can't stand Rage Against the Machine anymore. They're just way too political.
They're too woke. Like
dude,
brother, they invented woke.
The name of the band is Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, who do you think the Machine is?
What did you think was happening?
The Machine is the establishment. Yeah. But it's just
kind of dumb.
Yeah,
I don't
people
understand.
are very dumb.
Like, you couldn't pick other stuff?
I think Trump really likes CCR.
I mean, it's a good song.
It's a great song.
If you just took the meaning of the lyrics out and just played the music, that's a great song. And I get that it sounds cool. And you know what? I think the other thing is, I think a lot of people have seen them. Like, that song's a big part of movies of that era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you're like a Vietnam movie and that song's playing. But the point is to show the protest overlapping with the war. But then you hear, like, it sounds cool. And it's like, maybe that's what your image is in your head when you think of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, God almighty, man. It's so stupid.
Google it.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Just listen to it.
We had Neil Gelman on, the sexy Gelman, as I like to call him, about an hour ago, and he was making me feel better as a homeowner about the real estate market in St. Louis. I asked him point blank, is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? Is it just kind of weird, mixed up? And he said that the more national you look at the real estate market, the more it's sort of a soft market. But in St. Louis, it's very consistent. It's not like it was 3 or 4 years ago when your house was legit worth $500,000 and someone would come knocking on your door saying, I understand you're about to list your house.